Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. Just black and white. Black and white, just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. Just black and white. Black and white.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are at. We are back for another Meseeks Sunday Showdown. It's your boy Verdict, and with me on this lovely Sunday evening is going to be my guy, Denomine. Denomine, how are you doing today, my guy? Let's go. I'm pumped.
I'm doing pretty good looking at some of the matchups we have here for tonight, and I definitely got to say I'm pretty excited. Right off the bat, we're going to have Eleventy, who's obviously one of the teams that I've casted quite a bit in the past, and with a roster that I'm very familiar with for them as well. So I have a lot of knowledge going into this game on what Eleventy can bring to the table, and obviously the opposition, which is what, Elite, I guess? 1337? Yeah?
Yes, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not 100% familiar with 1337, but they are obviously a team that we should be, well, I'm not going to say be aware of, but it obviously must be an iPad team because I've never seen them before. In all of the Meseeks Sunday Showdowns that I've ever casted, I'm trying to see if I can look at their VC, which I cannot see. Oh no, there we go. Some of the names, yeah, I'm not 100% sure of these guys. Arc, Kumiya, Rave, Shiwo, Tokyo. And I'm looking in the lobby too. I could actually see their names too, and you can see them down below. But again, must be somebody who we are or newer to the stage because I've yet to hear of them. Eleventy I'm very aware of. Uero, Yuhi, Zai, Daddy Gogu, and Just actually making some moves today. So gonna be an interesting. We're gonna have a best of 3 for the first 2 rounds. Third round's gonna be a best of 5, and the finals obviously gonna be a best of 5. It may be a best of 7 though. So as soon as we get that information, we'll let you guys know. The maps, you can see that in Discord. Maps standout.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. We've got a standoff hardpoint to lead off. Takeoff S&D, so one we saw over the past week, and then if we make it to a game 3, we would be looking at Hackney Yard, and I gotta say, for 1337, it would be a pretty impressive feat if they pushed a team like Eleventy to domination on kind of their opening performance. The operator bans we have is 1337 bans on the Annihilator and Eleventy ban the Sparrow. So, just a couple things there for you guys before we lead into our first match. We should be getting pretty close to getting into it. And I do believe we had one team say they're not going to make it today, correct?
We had one team, and I'm actually posting the bracket now as I'm saying. That's going to be Turbulence. That's going to be a very familiar team, Space and whatnot. We have them actually forfeiting in the first round, and the guys over at, or should I say the gals over at Angels actually are going to go ahead and move on to the second round. That's right. We did have Turbulence actually in the mix, but they did forfeit. I'm not sure what Wu was waiting on. I know that we don't have any screenshot verification process. Even if we did, it wouldn't be necessary at the beginning of the game. So we're gonna get this sorted out and figured out before we get started, and gonna be an exciting one. This again, Meseeks Sunday Showdown, brought to you by Trovo, SXC finger sleeves, JuJu Energy. Make sure you use code Meseeks for both of those, and HyperX. So huge 32nd week for us. I've been doing this for 32 weeks strong. That's crazy.
Impressive.
I mean, hey, it started with me on my couch. I'll continue to tell it on my lazy boy. Bro, I kid you not. I'm on my lazy boy. I got my jogging pants on. I got my tank top. I got my HyperX headset, and I've got my iPad, and that's it, you know. So
Very nice, very nice.
You know, we're moving on up.
All right, looks like we had a player have to rejoin the lobby, so we've got Bosco in now. And hopefully we'll be ready to go. Verdict, how you feeling here tonight? Are you well rested?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
get food today? We're not worried about you starving or anything?
Bro, let me tell you, the wife made this most amazing shrimp pasta. It was amazing, dude. It was phenomenal. It was mushrooms, onions. It was dope. It was good. White pasta sauce, the mix, the whole nine. I got a double scoop of JuJu. I'm feeling hella fire right now. So super ready to get this game started. And I did read in chat, Bosco did say yes, my team are on iPads. That's why we came now. So I'm not sure if Bosco is the player or the coach or manager. So I see he's not ready at the moment. Can you pin them MSK brackets? Yes, I'm actually working on that right now. Woo! How you feeling tonight, man? I know that I actually downloaded Cold War. That's right. Day and I are gonna grind some Cold War later this week. But I got you, Yurch. What you been up to today, man? You've been killing it as normal. I know it's been another day, but
Yeah, doing all right. Just little lost track of time. You know, again, I've had a pretty busy schedule despite being out of work the past couple weeks, moving stuff around. I helped move a shed off of the property, so that took a little bit here today, but definitely gonna be a good night ahead of us. I've got me some energy drink here. I'm looking at getting me some food ordered because my timing was poor and I didn't eat before the broadcast, so we're gonna figure that one out. But I'm ready for it, and again, I can't think of really a better team to see off the bat here for today, at least of teams we haven't yet seen, and that's going to be again 11 coming to the table. What you'd expect to be in a big way. I mean, again, this is the same roster they played all of the previous season with of obviously another COD mobile tournament. So this team should have synergy. They should be well-rounded in playing together and should bring us a lot of really aggressive, action-packed gameplay ahead of us.
they should. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they made a transition to iPad at some point. It was more recently, so I'm not sure if they're on iPad or phone tonight. Not that matters because this is not a phone exclusive tournament. You can obviously use either or. But it definitely has implications.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right? So last time Champs was around, I believe they offered iPad use in stage 1 and stage 2, and then limited it to phone after that, right? So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for a team of this caliber to be practicing on anything other than phone. In the long run, that seems like it would be a little bit more of a hindrance. So I don't know. They may be. It's not up to me if they are, but that'd be my 2 cents.
I completely agree with you. Champs obviously going to take precedence over Master Tournament, which the Masters is allowing for players to use iPads or tablets and whatnot. I still don't feel like that should make a difference in what you choose to play with. I feel like if you're going to stick with phone, you need to stick with phone. We're going to see Wedo rocking, or just rocking the shoddy, bro. Picks up 3 big kills in the point. 1 on bottom Granny. He's going to get caught in the staircase there. Actually, Bosco's going to be able to take him down, but I'm kind of loving the old rule set that we've ran, which was the mobile mayhem rule set, but at the same time, I am kind of enjoying the diversity. So I've been watching the same back and forth gun style or gameplays. You know, everything's pretty much, you know, everybody's using the same guns. Now you've got a couple people playing with shotguns. You got people actually using guns that they normally wouldn't be able to use. So P1's closed down, 30-16, close matchup thus far. We're going to see the guys over at 11 have an early advantage as P2 transitions have been kind to them and a little bit of spawn control there.
Yeah, just a little bit thus far. It's only about a 20-point lead for 11C, but we are only on a P2 as well, and it is a fresh P2 on top of that. Oh man, Bosco rounds the corner and just is ready with the shotgun. Does look like Shiro picks up a big double kill before he gets picked off by Danny Gogu. Pred missile going to come in from Wiru, and 11T off to a great start right now. We have Wiru, who hasn't really been a huge like top fragger for Respawn, at least in my recent history with spectating him. Sitting up at 8-3 right now, and as well Zai is at a rockin' 11-3. So 11T in a great position, and they are already getting set up for. Actually, no, I switched teams. This is Elite or 13-37 getting set up on Grannies for hardpoint. So good rotation coming out of these guys.
Good rotation indeed. We are going to see multiple Levity players actually making the transition as well. Shiro's going to be the last one alive on point. He's going to be taken down, and I was just reading in chat, Superset, we have 3 phones and 2 iPads, Zai and Denny Goku, and I completely spoke out of context. I was completely aware of the situation with Masters and them limited it to the United States and Europe.
I didn't think of that.
I didn't think of that either. I'm just not sure. You know what? I'm not going to speak any further on. I don't take control for any of that situation. But, so we do have 2 players that are rocking iPads at the moment. That's going to be Zai and Danny Goku. So I appreciate you for clarifying that. Super always comes through and show some love in chat. So we are going to see P4 opening up, and it could be the last one, as I do see Just actually circling. Oh my God, circling his prey. As bottom market is just going to be his domain. A nice 3-piece as we continue to see him pop it off with the KRM. This gun is one of those that you won't use a BR because there's better options, but man, has it made its presence here in multiplayer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is definitely a little bit of an extension of the previous submachine gun meta. Obviously, we were already starting to shift over that way, and this recent update has really just taken the QXR, the QQ9, as well as the Bison to a really strong level. So I'm not really shocked we have so much QXR in play. I am a little shocked that we had, I believe, 2 shotguns on the side of 11T. It worked out well for them. I mean, Standoff is one of the stronger maps for shotguns in my opinion, just because all of the hard points are kind of enclosed, close range hard points, as well as a lot of the common rotations are very short sight line in the first place. So whether you're going through mid building or around mid building, or far tractor side, there's a lot of shotgun opportunity there. Kind of just avoid the main street and you're pretty golden, and it worked out pretty well for 11T there.
Yeah, looks like the guys over 1337 only managing to get 28 points. I believe 13 of those were on that first point. You know, it's kind of tough when you go against a well-established team like 11T. They definitely know what they're doing. As you said, this is the same exact roster that you've seen in seasons past. So a lot of chemistry there, a lot of synergy on this team. We do see Danny Goku top frag at a minute 22 on the hill, 16-7 KD, and Zai right there with him, 16-4, a minute and 29. When you got 2 star players like that popping off in a game, it's very difficult to overcome. So we'll see how their search and destroy game pans out, as they are on the brink of elimination. This is their first week at the Meseeks Sunday Showdown. Definitely looking forward to you guys registering next week as well. So as this tournament grows, we like to see diversity in the players and the teams. So glad to see that we're getting some iPad teams in the mix. I was super excited about seeing Turbulence, but obviously I just got overworked. So if Space is out there, if Space sees this, man, you owe me a week. Meseeks Sunday Showdown. Be there next week. That's it. And I'm going to clip that and send it to him.
You absolutely should. Absolutely should. But it's like we are getting pretty much all readied up once again. So going to be shifting into our takeoff search and destroy. This is one of the newer maps for the competitive scene introduced this season. And obviously it's in the rotation because it is in the Masters rotation. So Looks like we are getting on into this one, Verdict.
You know what? I had my mic muted, my guy. It's gonna be another one of those days. But we're gonna kill it still. We're gonna kill it. Game number 2, Search and Destroy. If you're just now joining us, Levity took the first matchup. Hardpoint, very, very lopsided, 150 to 28. We're gonna see if the guys over at 1337 are gonna be able to answer.
Be honest with you, that pumpkin grenade skin is just so amazing. Like the particle effects on it, the whole just kind of design, amazing. But we do have Zai, who is confirmed by Super to be playing on iPad here today, and he is going to be the primary sniper for the side of 11T. I don't think any surprise there. And I think after that first round, I think if you're Rave, you're pretty scared to go up against Zai right now. I definitely think that's going to be the case. Does get a good pick, a nice quick scope onto Yuji, who had made a aggressive push, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, line him up, knock him down. Round 1 is going to go over to the side of 1337.
It was almost a flawless round for them, as I believe Yuhi was the only player who was able to get a kill. Obviously, they played this map a little bit more than Levity, or, you know, to this respect, it may be just the fact that Levity hasn't practiced on this map. I don't know. These guys look pretty stout at the moment for a Search and Destroy. Yuhi going to be poking up at the top side of this office building control tower, as I just read it on the side of the the wall. Just going to be making his way over as he gets a huge pick on Rave. We're going to see Tokyo go down early as well, so Bosco down as well. It's going to be a 2v5 scenario. Shiro going to be making his way around the corner. He's got a AS Val, which is probably not the best gun to go against multiples, as 3 players were in the direct vicinity. That's going to leave Arc at a 1v5, and just as I was talking about how well they played this Search and Destroy, that first round, they did. I'll give them credit, but this second round was all 11 as they make it a flawless one. What was that line? Line them up and knock them down. That was exactly what happened there in this second round. Back-to-back decent rounds for both teams, so we're all tied up going into this third. And on a map like this, it's very, very, in my opinion, it's huge if you pick a side to go to, if you're going to be on the attacking side. And you get a pick, because if you get a pick, you're going to have map advantage. You're going to have control of that particular area. Tokyo gets a big one on Zai. With this map being so spread out, I can imagine that the rotations are just held to come through.
Yeah, I've yet to personally decide if I think this map is more defensive or offensive oriented. There's definitely arguments for both. But, you know, as we progress and get a little bit more time and see some of the upper echelon teams play against each other, I definitely think we'll get a little bit more of an answer, a little bit more development as to how the map is mostly going to play out. I mean, obviously, every team is different. Every team brings something a little different to the table. So, you know, it's hard to say. I mean, this is, what, like the third or fourth map that we've seen played on or for Search and Destroy Takeoff, at least. And I think the only what I would consider to be like top tier versus top tier teams would have been Trovo Mayhem versus Tribe. And Tribe obviously kind of in a world of their own this season. It's been a hard one to dictate so far.
Huge opening frag for Just. Danny Goku going to go ahead and get a one as well. Wado actually going to spot Shiro, who just took down Danny. Tokyo and Rave are going to be the last 2 alive. Yuhi and Zai for the side of 11D. Rave playing this top control area, who is kind of exposed above the A site, but is going to have a clear lane of vision on pretty much everything in the map. He gets a good jump. You can spot anything mid. You can spot anything towards the B bomb site. We're going to have the rotations over from Yuhi, who is spotted but is not going to be struck. We are going to see Zai actually go down, as Tokyo, rocking the QXR, actually going to peek around this corner. Takes down Zai. That's going to put them in a 3-1 advantage. And at the moment, it's starting to look like the defensive side's looking pretty OP, as I mean, if you take a look at the map, they're kind of favoring the bomb sites are kind of favoring the defensive side. Like you pretty much are being invited over to the defensive spawn. With that being said, you know, it's definitely one of those ones where if you get spread out too easily, you're going to get picked apart. And we're going to see Zai actually get spotted on this top control of this B site or A site building. And 3v1 is going to ensue as Guero is actually going to be the last one alive. So MP7 in hand, going to be taking some shots. Takes down one. Bosco is going to be peeking around the corner. Rave going to be there for some support as well and gets the shot. It's going to be 3 straight rounds in favor of 1337. So we'll see how they do on the attack. And you know, this is just from another perspective. We saw Trovo, Mayhem, and Tribe on this map.
Yeah, we saw them play against each other on this map. Which
we did. We've seen them play against each other on this map, and I don't know if I could make an assumption off of, you know, like you said, Tribe just in a different league at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, I'm personally really glad that 1337 have put up a great fight here. So, regardless of what happens here, again, I said right at the beginning of the broadcast that I would be impressed if they pushed us to a domination, and right now, it's looking pretty doable. I mean, you were saying you think that this seemingly favors the side of the defense, and right now, that has looked to be the case. But 1337 are now only 2 rounds away from pulling together a win. So it's looking very doable. It is a 1v1 currently with Bosco and Zai. You definitely, history-based, would have to say you believe in Zai here, but it is going to be a sniper up against a QXR, and we know just how strong that QXR is this update, so definitely be keeping an eye out for that, especially if you miss a single shot with your Locust here, it could spell disaster, and it is going to be Zai getting dropped. 5-1 now for 1337.
Yeah, I wasn't banking on too much with Zai at the moment. It looks like he's kind of struggling. I took a look at the scorecard. 0-4 before that round, 0-5, obviously, as we did see him not connect that shot. And I gotta say, like, on the defense of this map, you can't get spread out too quickly. And Bosco or Shiro is actually gonna go right in front of Zai, and he is not gonna get noticed. That is interesting. I'm not sure if Zai intentionally let him go or just couldn't see him. I'm not sure what his field of view is looking like right now. He takes another shot.
The danger of playing on the iPad. Too much to look at.
Too much to look at. And obviously, the luxuries. Yeah, that's a tough one. But again, this is just not the same Zai that I'm used to seeing. Rave going to be up top. He's going to be spotted.
Part of that could be him switching back to iPad too, though.
It could be. It very well could be.
You know, he's been playing the past, 4+ months on phones, so switching a device, even if it's what would be considered a favorable device, can definitely make a little bit of a kink in the chain, I guess is the easiest way to put it.
Zai gonna get one.
Oh man, Bosco.
That is tough, dude. That is so tough. Left in a 4v2 scenario, and this is just absolutely crazy. We're going to a game 3, 11D taking on 1337. I have to say, Search and Destroy was looking to go a lot like the hardpoint, but reverse roles. So 6-1, pretty much, the exact same thing we saw in the hardpoint, 150 to 28. You could kind of compare the two. So polar opposites here, as the guys over 1337 are going to be taking us to a game 3.
My one comment here about that last match, besides the fact that 1337 just played good, is I don't know what is going on with that the Magnum build that Zai has going for him. That sight just hurt my brain.
I wasn't gonna make a comment on it. I was gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, it's definitely a more clear sight than the iron sights on the Magnum. Like, I'll give it that, but yeah. Oh my goodness, it just looked so clunky. It is a great sight though. It's it's a nice little red dot that has a pretty translucent field of vision. It doesn't disrupt a lot, so I don't know. I play with pistols a lot. And I don't run sights on any of them. So
I've never been the type to run sights on my pistol either. Even in console versions of the game, even if they say it's a 2-tap anywhere on the map, I don't care, dude. I'm just not comfortable with putting. As a matter of fact, I'm not comfortable putting sights on many guns, other than ones that are actually made for long distance shooting. Burst weapons, marksman type rifles, obviously. But pistol situation, I don't know, bro. I'm not questioning Zai. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. But at the same time, it was very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's not often you see a sights even in this level of competition on the pistol. So it was just something different I wanted to point out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, if that's
Zai, there's everything wrong with it. Change the loadout. All right, I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding, my guy. All right, we're gonna get ready for a domination hack the yard. This map can be very, very toxic. It can be very lopsided too. So we'll assume the team that has A will hold B. But again, it's just one of those maps that the C site will push for the A spawns. We'll be looking out for teams making that flip early. So if you've got the C site on the first half, which I think 11 does. I've often seen strategies where they just abandon the C site altogether and go straight for A, and vice versa. So if you are 1337, be looking out for that strategy. I'm not trying to give away strats. Everybody knows what's up. Everybody knows the deal when it comes to this map. You get A, pretty much have B in the bag.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be a little bit more favorable side often. Not always. I definitely have seen some teams prefer it the other way. There's very minor differences between the two, but definitely the oversight of A has a little bit more potential looking into the actual cubby at B, so that's always been my favored path for this map for that reason. But it's very minor.
We're going to see an initial push from the 11 squad. They're actually going to be denied early. B is going to be held by 1337. And as I stated earlier, I was very wrong. C is actually going to be the site that 1337 actually takes off the rip. And they're going to have a pretty decent hold on B. As I do see Danny, Goku, and Wero actually spotting up. Rave going to be there with the PP-19 Bison. He's going to be spotted and taken down. And now we're going to see the potential retake coming through for 11 as I want to say maybe 1 or 2 players are on the mix. They're going to get some shots down low, and that's actually going to clear it. A and B are going to be held, and yeah, now it's going to be a matter of how long they can hold it, because this team that we're spectating here that's taking on 11 definitely not a pushover team. After that hard point, I was very not as optimistic as I normally would, but after seeing that search and destroy, it was very convincing. They have great gun skill. They know how to position themselves well on the map. And this is going to be a competitive third game that's going to actually have us with 11 having the advantage. But for how long? As we did see a very, very lopsided search and destroy. So going to be an interesting one.
Which is honestly wild, because I have always considered 11T to be one of the stronger search and destroy teams. So pretty impressive performance out of 1337. My concern is they didn't seem to really have a lot of team synergy built for the respawn, and that is going to be a very heavy and determining factor here in this map. So definitely something to consider. And right now it is a so far pretty solid hold for 11T, as well as Zai has been able to set up a sentry over B as well. That's going to help them hold for, yeah. Definitely a big feed going over to the side of 11T there.
Yeah, this is looking a lot like the first matchup. I was very optimistic after seeing them cap B and held 11 off the site initially, but now that these guys have got going, it just doesn't look like they're going to stop. We're going to continue to see 11 maintain the A and B site respectively, and at the moment, it's looking pretty lopsided on the kill feed. 15-3 for Zai, who did not have a single... Well, he had 1 kill that entire... He dropped a breadstick in the search and destroy. Obviously, he's not meant to snipe on iPad. I'm not making that assumption, but it just seems like I've seen Zai hit crisp snipes with the phone. Now on iPad, I just did not see him make those connections. And again, I know you made the comment. Yeah, making that adjustment.
Certainly going to be an adjustment period, no matter whether it's going from phone to iPad or iPad to phone. Either or, again, there's a lot of advantages that iPad can bring to the table. But it's still a very different experience, so something to consider. Again, I'm not used to seeing 11T struggle in Search and Destroy the way we just watched, but they seem pretty in control of the domination. We're certainly in control of the hard point, so definitely a important one to make note of is 11T seems to have been putting in a bit of work on their respawn gameplay. Not saying that I ever considered them a bad respawn team. They were just one of the stronger Search and Destroy teams overall in Mobile Mayhem, so definitely glad to see them putting that work in.
We are going to see a cap come through for 11E, but it's going to be reversed rather quickly. Tokyo has pretty decent control of this top grade. As soon as I say that, just nades him. Just nailed it. We are going to see the B push come through as Just and a few others actually going to be spotted and taken down. That's going to give Rave and Team 1337 the advantage on the B site, but they're not going to be able to make any kind of pushes towards it. Rave's actually going to be their solo arc peeking up the top of green. We're going to see multiples in the area for 11E. They are going to be able to clear the hill and reverse the cap. This is going to be an intense one, as I do see multiple players on the B side effectively. 11E going to be able to dominate here in this the second half as well as the first. Zai with some pretty good positioning there, and it's just going to be a matter of moments now. I didn't see them abandon the C site at the beginning of this round, which is probably due to the fact that we're going to 150 instead of 200. With a score to 150, it lessens your ability to let the game develop. So
yeah, it definitely makes you a little bit more upfront prone to having to play. I mean, you have to play your best early. It leaves a lot less time on the table for late game turnaround time. So we will be looking at how this second half is going to develop, which right now it looks pretty much all 11T in my opinion. Again, they've obviously put in the work to practice the respawns. I mean, even though, again, I never considered them a bad respawn team, just like watching their movement and their rotations for both the hardpoint as well as going into the domination here, they just seem a little bit more on the same page than they have for respawns in the past. So definitely some notable changes there. And right now they have about a 50-point or so lead. Nothing crazy, but definitely pretty comfortable when you've only got 10 points to go. I keep forgetting that we're only going to 150.
Throws me off every time.
Yeah, I started talking thinking that there was still, 60 points to go. I was like, there's still a chance for 1337. Down at 90, 11T within just a couple points of pulling together a win. I'm chalking this one to 11T, and there it is. Gonna lock it on out.
50 to 89, a better recovery for 11E as first round goes to a game 3 on the backs of a 6-1 win from 1337 in the Search to Destroy. 11E obviously comes through and definitely made it 1337 definitely made this an interesting series. I'm expecting them to go ahead and sign up for next week too, because they look like a team that has a lot of potential. I know that since we've opened the tournament up for iPad, we're going to have a much vaster pool of players to draw from. So I'm excited to see what this next week's going to be looking like. Looking at the scorecard, 34-7. What a redemption from Zai, as he just looked like a fish out of water in the Search or Destroy last game. Now he looks like he's a master of his domain. Exactly. Master of his domain right there, bro. 37-7-7, 20-9 for Just, 60-8. Everyone goes positive with the exception of Yuhi, who I made a comment a few months back that he was arguably one of the better players in that LATAM region, and I will stick by it, even though he goes 15 here, breaks even. But he is he's like one of those vital pieces to a team. They need a guy like him. He's like the glue.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yuji's always been just overall a consistent player. I mean, every player is going to have their bad games, right? Like that's just a fact. But quite often Yuji is, as you mentioned, kind of that glue that pulls this team together. Just because even though he doesn't top frag every game, he 9 times out of 10 is positive. He's got good objective rotations and overall just a really solid player. So definitely not a bad player to have on your team whatsoever. Um, Obviously, from Super, it does also as well seem that Yuji is going to be sticking to phone. So I personally like that, even for obviously we had the news that I guess it wasn't really news, but you know what I mean, that they're not going to be competing in Masters because obviously they're in the LATAM region. And I'm definitely looking forward to more things ahead. We'll very likely still have a champs for LATAM, so that will likely, after the first couple rounds, go down to just phone anyway. So I still think it's a strong suit to keep practicing at that nature.
Absolutely, we are going to get geared up for the second round of the Meseeks Sunday Showdown. We're going to have 11D taking on Angels. So bear with us as we get these teams in the lobby. That's actually going to take us to a shorter dimension. I need a refill on water. Guys, we shall be right back in less than 2 minutes. live, as I said, no more than 2 minutes. It doesn't look like it was. Maybe it was a little bit more than 2 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Game or round number 2, we are going to see Team 11 and Angels. We're also going to see Explicit have a no way. Explicit takes down Tribe and Community Esports. It looks like Community might have. What is going on with that? Oh, never mind. I don't know. Maybe Community DQ'd and Explicit took advantage of that. I don't know. We'll get more clarification as I'm looking at the bracket. Operation 34 going to be moving on, taking on Zygnus Esports. Gravity taking on Trovo Mayhem. So huge lineup tonight as I'm taking a look at Discord to get some more information on it. It does look like we've got Trovo Mayhem and Gravity on Guildmania stream. So ahead of us, we've got Angels and Team 11. Angels making their debut in the Meseeks Sunday Showdown, and I'm super excited to see Aerith and Angels actually come through. They are like the #1 ranked girls team in COD Mobile, so definitely excited.
Definitely going to be a fun one to watch. Aerith, obviously a pretty well-known content creator in COD Mobile, so pretty skilled player overall, I have to say. So definitely one to look forward to. And we have 11T up against who here next? Were you saying?
It is Angels, the all-girl roster.
I'm sorry. Who's the next matchup after this one?
It looks like Explicit might have, as I'm taking a look at the bracket, it looks like Community Esports 3-2's Tribe. I don't know how true that is. And then Explicit actually...
3-2, so it wasn't even a DQ. It was... Well, it wasn't... Okay, so it wasn't a forfeit. So, Tribe did show up and play.
You know what? I'm not 100% sure on that. Because usually if it's a forfeit, it would be a 3-0.
Right.
Let me get some info from Echo. And we'll get some further clarification because I see Explicit, they beat Zygnus Black, but it wasn't an actual matchup. It was a 3-0, which indicates a forfeit. Yeah, that's going to get some more info because usually if it's a forfeit, it'll show a 3-0, but we'll see. That'd definitely be interesting. I would not expect Community to actually beat Tribe. They're one of our qualifier teams, and I'm not, doubting their abilities. But let's be real.
It'd be impressive to beat Tribe.
Oh,
that would be
big facts. Why did we not stream
impressive.
that?
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah, who let that be off stream?
Yeah, I would have posted that everywhere, bro. That'd have been massive. But I don't think that's the case. I think as soon as they didn't play, they forfeited. Okay, so the points actually didn't indicate that. So a few teams forfeiting today, which making me scratch my head. Zygnus Black forfeited, Tribe forfeited, Turbulence forfeited.
And those are 3 teams I'm actually surprised forfeited in general, let alone all 3 of them at once.
And we're getting info that Angels aren't responding at the moment, so we might be joining in another matchup, which is going to be Zygnus Esports and Operation 34. So, yeah, Explicit getting forfeit after forfeit. They just got a free ticket to the semifinals. Interesting. Yeah, we're going to see players from 11 in the lobby as we speak, but I don't see anybody to represent Angels at the moment, so... I appreciate the Stay States and Mashiko. I appreciate the On Fires. See you guys in chat. Definitely acknowledging you guys. Mashiko, how have you been? It's been a minute. All right, we're going to wait a few more moments. Waiting for the call. We might be joining in, as I said, the Zygnus Esports and Op 34 games. as Angels are not responding at the moment.
It's black and white.
Actually, don't see. Well, I don't see Eric streaming as much as I used to.
You streamed today.
Did she stream today? I just haven't seen her
So?
stream later on in the evening, so she must be on a earlier stream schedule. So
It's either today or last night, but I definitely had a notification.
all right, we're gonna be waiting for this information. Angels probably knew it was a GG, so forfeit lurker. That is not the case. Definitely not the case. Okay, so we are going to be moving over to the Zygnus Esports and Op34 game.
Cool. I'll get to actually watch an Op34 game.
There we go. Now you get a little bit of insight on what's going on over there. I'm gonna join the room and I'll just invite you. All right, we got Zygnus Esports taking on Op34. Go ahead and update this title. Second round of the Meseeks Sunday Showdown.
It's black and white.
Op34, one of our qualifying teams, who are, as you know, I'll continue to say, probably one of the day. Move up real quick for me, or invoice actually. There we go.
It's black and white.
What? Oh, I think she meant the kick envoy, not you.
It's black and white.
There we go. We're chilling. Definitely one of those teams who have shown that they are top tiered. They've got 140 points after 3 weeks. I don't think they've lost a single map. And we've seen them in the Meseeks Sunday Showdown in several semifinals and finals matchups. So one finals matchup to date against Tribe, who Tribe obviously took the better of that matchup, but obviously it wasn't a blowout, but at no point did I believe that the guys over at Op34 were in that matchup. Now, I say that with all respect, and I know that's probably the most disrespectful thing you could say, but let's just be real. Tribe is just, they're another beast. They are another beast. They are miles above the competition, and we've seen it in several seasons of the Mobile Mayhem. We've seen it in both the NA and LATAM regions, right?
I believe so.
Definitely a stout opponent at any point. So we're going to see this matchup take place. It's going to be a takeoff hardpoint. Oh, wow. I didn't realize takeoff was a competitive map in the Masters mode. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of takeoff today. Hack the Yard S&D, which is also going to be a first for me. And then standoff on Dom. Operation Band Annihilator, and our Operation bans the Annihilator. Zygnus bans the Sparrow, so
A lot of Sparrow bans today.
a lot of Sparrows. Yeah, did they really release? Did they recently get a buff, or? Because I have not seen anything on that. I know the War Machine's still a viable option. The Annihilator obviously is a one shot if you can hit your shots. But Sparrow definitely making its way into the meta for operators.
So far, that seems to be the case. I mean, again, we had a couple DQs today, so we can't really say entirely what all happened here, but so far we are 2 for 2 with the Annihilator and the Sparrow ban, which, you know, again, I don't think anybody would be really shocked that the Annihilator is banned. It's something that, you know, has always been kind of that go-to, consistently just good operator skill. Doesn't, I mean, it definitely requires skill, right? Like to be good with it, but overall, between the lock-on and you know, just some various features of the Annihilator, the obviously the fact that you can shoot it without the lock-on if your aim is good. So very, very versatile. It can even wallbang, which I thought was a pretty interesting thing. But I have definitely seen a couple wallbang kills with the Annihilator, so pretty solid work.
I've actually seen hit markers with the Annihilator too, which is interesting. You know, in aspects of, I do believe, just put a little bit more context, I do believe it was like someone who was jumping up, going through their spikes, the gravity spikes. And then I've seen some where, I'm not 100% sure what the situation was, but I've heard people getting hit markers with it, which is very interesting. So I've seen wall bangs. Valka coming through with 100. I see you with the winner chicken dinner. I appreciate you, Valka. How are you doing this evening? But no, I've seen several wall bangs. I've seen a few hit markers, and I'm like scratching my head. How do you get a hit marker with a operator that's, you know, one shot? So definitely interesting. It's obviously been an OP operator. The Sparrow making its way back into the meta. It hasn't really been a viable operator since I want to say season 3. They, you know, people stopped using it altogether. But the War Machine making its way back in. The Death Machine I even saw. Obviously, you got to be using, you know, some kind of operator if you can't use the Annihilator, Sparrow, or, you know, War Machine. Are they just not feeling it? You know, what's the case with that? You know, the Death Machine obviously hasn't been good since last year either. So I don't know. Looking at these guys, wondering what the new operator move is. If you know what it is in chat, put it in there. Let me know.
I'm not hugely sure why the War Machine hasn't been at least decent. You know, especially for things like Hardpoint and Domination, obviously with their with the two of them being very objective based. Anything that players are going to be congregating in a tight area, things like the Tempest or the War Machine are actually very, very strong at. So it's been a little different to me, but then again, I've also just casted 2.5 months of
I'm right
operators across the board are banned.
Yeah. It's like I am so out of the loop when it comes to operators now. Yeah. It has it's definitely changed a lot. So we're gonna see this is my very first hardpoint takeoff. So maybe our second one. I don't know if we've casted one last week. Wasn't too memorable.
I don't believe so, but maybe.
We'll see. Point number 1 going to be opening up as I'm taking a look at the mini map. It's going to be right in the middle of the map, so it's going to be very similar to other competitive maps for Hardpoint. Dead center of the map, no cover. Going to be a matter of who can get there and get the best angle.
It definitely so far seems to be the case, and you know, I think historically I would be rooting for Zygnus here, but you have hyped up this Op 34 roster for me pretty big, so I'll have to see if they live up to the hype. Obviously, their competitors forfeited the last 2 times I was supposed to be able to cast them, so I haven't gotten that personal experience yet, but definitely looking forward to this one.
They're off to a decent one. It's really hard to say. Early in the match, Tatio on a hell of a streak right now. 6-0. He's actually gonna spot. Oh my god, dude! This guy is so OP with the Bison. He's on a 7 streak. He's got a Sentry Gun and a Predator Missile. Tatio popping off. P number 2 actually gonna be at the top of the staircase. Yeah, it's definitely one of those maps that favor who has the advantage for the second point. It is going to be the ones who have already made their rotations over. But it's still a rather open point, though. It's not, you're not covered up. You're not indoors completely. You've got windows that shutter that are wide open. So if opponents on the outskirts, they can spot you easily. You got to have multiples on this point. And off the rip, we are going to see Zygnus actually take off with this lead and continue to run with it. Top control going to be held by Tatio. He is finally taken down after being on an 11 streak.
And we do have actually Shadow playing here today for Zygnus, which I hadn't seen in a while. I was getting pretty disappointed that we didn't have any Shadow, so he is here today. Definitely hoping to see some sniping come out of him. I think even the last couple times that I got to see Shadow play, I believe S-Thug was their primary sniper at that point, so again, kind of one of my favorite snipers from seasons past, and just haven't got to see much of him as of late.
You know what? I got to make a comment on that too. I haven't seen him in at least a month and a half, 2 months. I do believe, man, I can't even remember the last time I've seen him. It's been that long, but nonetheless, we're going to see Op34 actually have a complete hold, 15 seconds uncontested. P3. Oh my! The Aramis actually using that sentry gun and got a few on the feed, but was eventually taken down as that up-close quarter battle is just not it. But an interesting choice, as I do see the... Good God, I'm losing my train of thought here. I've actually seen that operator be used twice tonight, and I'm still in wonder. Like, I'm not sure if it's back in the death machine. Good God, I'm losing it. The wife came through and said she was leaving out, and I just got completely clueless as what I was about to talk about. P3 down, and it looks like Zygnus is going to prevail with the lead. They're going to have an early advantage on P4 too. So Irving, actually one of those newer edition players, actually going to get 2 on the point and just continue to rack up. He's going to be spotted by, I'm not sure who that was. That was Legend, but is going to be taken down. Tatio and Envoy going to be making their way in, and now we're going to see some different operators from Tatio. He's got the Tempest, and I believe that was maybe Envoy. Yeah, he's using the Equalizer. So interested to see the mix of operators from these players.
So you've obviously seen more of Op34 than I have. With every number above 0 being greater than 0. So you have a little bit more insight onto what this team's strong suits are than I do. Up against a team like Zygnus Elite, where do you expect Op34 to find their struggles and or their strong suits in this matchup?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Hardpoint is probably not gonna be it. I've seen Zygnus just completely plow teams at the moment. 80-point difference or deficit that Op34 has found themselves in, and in a search and destroy, they might have a better suit. But as I'm saying that, I'm not familiar with this Icky player who actually is doing pretty decently, and I'm not familiar with unless they made a name change, the Aramis. One of those players that I'm used to seeing, the Munoz. They literally had the same exact name. Just with different
three
letters.
Or four other players.
Yeah, so they obviously made a name change, or they've made some substitutes come through. As I do see Cheto actually picking up some time on the hill and some kills as well. They are actually going to potentially take this first game. But as I said, they've taken 11D out in a best of 3, winning the Search and Destroy and the Hardpoint, or not the Hardpoint, but the Domination. But like I said, when they went up against Tribe, it was a best of 5 that just did not look like it was. I mean, they didn't get blown out, but at no point did I think they were going to win.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a hard one to compare to. Tribe has obviously been a team that is just kind of in a league their own currently. So, you kind of got to take that one with a grain of salt, but overall, I mean, the rotations out of Op34 seemed solid. It just didn't seem like they were effectively winning their gunfights as much as you would like to see. But again, up against a team like Zygnus Elite, definitely not easy competition by any means whatsoever.
Definitely
and
not.
that was a pretty convincing win. You know, plus 108, so 150 to 42. Obviously, not really at any point did we have a feeling that Cygnus were at like an uncomfortable position. So yeah, hopefully the Search and Destroy Op 34 will turn things around. Obviously, as you mentioned, they're overall just a really strong team, and you hype them up quite a bit. And I definitely can see the potential. But again, they are up against some of the toughest competition, and I definitely think that's something important to make note of.
Definitely, Cygnus. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same Cygnus that went to the finals in both LATAM and Mobile Mayhem finals. So
Correct. Yep.
I mean, they took Tribe to a Game 5. You know, the reverse sweep was real for Tribe.
Game 7.
It's 7, I'm sorry. They took them to a Game 7. So the fact that they are able to trade blows with the likes of Tribe will definitely indicate their skill level. It's not going to dictate their skill level, because I felt like, you know, on any given day, any of these teams can pop off and be better than the other. Obviously, Tribe has just been more consistent with it. This Op 34 team for a challenger team, definitely putting up some. And these are all phone guys. These are not any iPad players. Nonetheless, you know, we're gonna have consistent phone players, because they're competing in the qualifiers event. That's still a phone-only event for the time being. So with the game changing, we actually see everyone leaving the lobby. With the games changing and the rules changing to accommodate to some of these tournaments, obviously we're going to see some teams switch over to iPad. I just don't feel like that's a good long-term investment. But then again, you know, these guys know what they're doing more than I am. They're the pros. They're, you know, top-tier teams for a reason, so they know what they're doing. I'm not going to question that, but I still feel like this team is very, very what's the word I'm looking for? They have a lot of potential. Like, and I don't use that very, very often. I don't say a team is qualified or, you know, I feel like this team can definitely put up some numbers against some of these top tier teams that we see consistently. Cygnus, 11D, Tribe. Are they better than them, or can they, you know, stand toe to toe with them? I don't know. You know, like I said, any team can win day after day. We'll see how they do here in game number 2. Search and Destroy Hackney Yard is going to be a newer map that a lot of these teams haven't practiced for yet. I definitely have not spectated one yet, so we'll see how they do here.
I believe even in our recent Mobile Mayhem, Hackney Yard was not a search map, so definitely something to consider. Again, you would expect that probably neither of these teams have a whole lot of practice on search Hackney, but, you know, definitely, yeah, imagine, you know, a team like Cygnus to have been already practicing on something they know is going to be in the rotation moving forward, or at least for now. Obviously, there's still a whole lot of Call of Duty ahead of us. So, you know, between obviously the Sunday Showdown, we've got the qualifiers, we've got all sorts of different things going on in the COD mobile scene right now. We've got Masters starting up, so definitely just a lot to take in, and a lot of big rule changes for anyone who followed the competitive scene.
We are going to see that first round go almost flawlessly for Cygnus. They are going to have a decent start. They're pushing this A side very aggressively. If they can get green control, it appears as though they can continuously run this map. This is one of those maps that if you push for B, it's wide open. A is going to be a little more controlled element. Munoz is going to be spotted. He's actually going to take some shots on Envoy. It's a 2v2, Cheto and Raven. We are going to see Raven directly on site, and Cheto actually playing that sniper role right outside of Green. He's actually preventing Munoz from getting the rotation. He hits his third shot. That's going to be 2 straight rounds in a row for Cygnus. Looking pretty strong in this matchup. I guess they heard me talking about how great Op 34 was, and they were just like, nope, that ain't going to happen. We don't care what verdict says. We're going to show this team that we mean business here, as they take game number 1 in convincing fashion, and they are 2-0ing Op 34 here in the Search and Destroy so far. Pelon takes down one. It's a 2v2 here as Irving and Tatio are going to be last one alive. Irving's actually going to be spotted. Tatio going to get the trade. Munoz, it's going to leave Pelon and Tatio. Tatio, obviously, his location has been given away. Pelon's going to see him. Going to go ahead and take some shots, but Tatio's playing this super well. Going to play for a little bit of time. Pelon's going to be trying to go for that. Oh, Pelon gets the better of Tatio in that 1v1, and they are going to take this third round of Search and Destroy. Taking us to 1-2, the defending side for Op34. Just not looking consistent at the moment. We'll see if they can get A control first here as fourth round's about to start up.
Defend the objectives. The enemy has the bomb.
And
I'm sorry, my mic was muted that whole time.
You pulled a verdict.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, right now, obviously, it's even the round that was won by 034 was a pretty close round, at least comparatively speaking. So they've put up a little bit more fight than they have in the at least as far as they did in the hardpoint match that we started off with. But it still doesn't feel out of Zygnus's control currently. So we'll have to see as time develops what is going to be kind of the development of this match, because now it's sitting 3-0 Zygnus, and again, even the round that they lost didn't really feel like a convincing round loss, I guess is the easiest way to put it. So if you're a Zygnus fan, I mean, you're feeling definitely in a pretty good spot currently.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. And I'm looking at this map for Search and Destroy. I absolutely hate it. It is probably in the same league as Summit. Actually, I think I might dislike it more than Summit. A is so lopsided. Once you get in there, dude, it's almost impossible to break. And it's almost impossible to get there before your opponents get in. So, you know, obviously, if you can make that A push and get it in there successfully, which shouldn't be too hard. Shadow actually going to drop there as Icky actually gets one. Legend's going to get another. It's going to be a 2v2. Envoy's going to go through with some cleanup. Pelon, yet again, in a 1v2 scenario, takes down one. Oh, he's going to beam Envoy, too. This kid putting up some impressive shots, as I was for sure thinking Envoy was going to turn on him. That was definitely not the case. That Bison played very well in his favor, and we're going to see the size flip. Now, as I was saying, if you can get over to that 8th site and get an aggressive hold on it, I mean, it's game over, bro. Get that bomb planted, and it is almost impossible to get a breakthrough. So, you know, I'll continue to, you know, speak my opinions on the map and whatnot, but as far as I'm looking at, dude, it's a tough map to play on for Search and Destroy.
Yeah, I mean, so far that definitely seems to be the case. I mean, there's, you know, still obviously a lot of season ahead of us. And this being a very new map to the competitive scene, I wouldn't even necessarily say that, you know, I don't think any teams have really necessarily practiced this map. So it is kind of a little bit of even ground, I would say, between the top tier and some of the competing teams that they need to, you know, be working on practicing this map. I mean, again, any team that was looking to compete in previous seasons likely didn't plan on having to practice this map because at the time it didn't reflect what was actually going to be played in competitive. Obviously with the new Masters rule set and with you know, all the massive changes, I mean, changes across the board. I mean, right? I mean, we had all operators banned, we had all shotguns banned, we had all LMGs banned in the previous competitive scene environment, and that's a big change to now almost all of that being available. Score streaks around the board being available. I don't remember, is persistence available or no?
I don't believe persistence is.
I think persistence and tracker are the two perks that are banned.
I think
I could
you're
be wrong.
I think you're right. Oh my, Shadow. Gonna be in a 1v1 himself. Pella knows all he has to do is play time here. Well played, my guy. Doesn't matter if you lose this 1v1. Obviously, you want to get the better of this transaction, but opted to play for time.
Ready for the next round.
I gotta commit. I gotta tip my hat to Pelon. He played that super well, but I gotta give it to Cheto. Cheto took out 2 players like it was nobody's business. Like guys were not even shooting. I mean, it was pretty convincing. He was beaming them. We're gonna see a 4-3 now, which started off to be a what was it? Was it a 3-0 before Op34 got a point on the board?
I think it was 2-1 at one point.
2-1. Okay, so 2-1, which led to a 3-2. Now going to be a 4-3. Operation 34, very much so in this. It's a 2v3 scenario. Legend going to be taken out, so it's going to be a 1v3, and Munoz is actually going to be the last one alive. Arctic 50 in hand, so probably better if he picked up a second option. He's going to spot Tio there, but actually missed that first shot, giving away his location. This is going to be a tough one to win, and he goes down.
Yep, and that is going to tie things up 4-4 now, so definitely a big performance so far out of Op34. I know you were saying early on that Hardpoint may not be their suit against the likes of Zygnus, and obviously that wasn't the case. It was a 150-42 win for Zygnus. But they're putting up a great fight right now in a Search and Destroy. Again, I think kind of the equalizer here is that neither one of these teams is probably fully comfortable with this map, so definitely helping out. But I mean, overall they're playing well too. I mean, they're winning more of their gunfights this time around, so that's working well for them. And as we go into Domination, which is another static objective map, it does mix in that blend of the static objective with the respawn of Hardpoint. Maybe that gives them a little bit of chance in that respawn setting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but at one point we had a 5-3 man advantage for Op34, and it turned around so quickly. A few trades, Zygnus takes that round. I for sure thought that Op34 was going to secure the round there and potentially be on match point, and now the shoe is on the other foot. Zygnus on match point, 5-4 at the moment. I've seen them play a few domination games, and like I said, they beat 11D in the domination, and it was not even close, bro. I'm saying it was on this map too, so it probably wouldn't be fair to assess how well they play domination, especially with a map like this being, a little lopsided at points. But I gotta say, when I say it wasn't close, dude, it was not close. It was like 200 to 80. And they held a triple cap for the longest. So 5-1 scenario, Cheto gonna be spotted by Icky. Icky is gonna be taking the winner of that fight, and we are gonna see a round 11. Sides are gonna flip based off of what we saw earlier on in the Search Destroy match. 3-2 split actually for both teams. Three rounds on the defense or the attacking side for each. I'm assuming that Zygnus might have the upper hand here.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a lot more even of a match than the Hardpoint was. So, no matter what happens here, you have to at least give credit to Op34 for bouncing back off such a one-sided loss. And now they're in a good position to potentially push us into a Game 3. So, very back and forth match, all Search and Destroy long between these two teams. We've got 30 seconds on the clock. And this is looking great for the side of Zygnus. I mean, everybody is still alive, but obviously with only 20 seconds left on the clock, the defuse is not looking super optimal. We do have a couple players falling on the side of O34, a couple trades back, but under 10 seconds left on the board. And I think this is Zygnus picking up the 2-0 victory over Op34.
They are indeed, as Tio is going to spot Aramis for that final kill. Didn't even matter. He wasn't even going to be able to get that defuse off either way. So, yeah, a very, very close Search and Destroy match. Obviously, this is a map that both teams probably haven't practiced on as much as others. As Zygnus is one of those teams that...
There has been practice on it the past couple weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like a standoff, like Search and Destroy practice type, or... everyone's got like some kind of experience with search and destroy on standoff. This map is a little newer as well as takeoff, so interesting to see the strategies. Obviously, A is the move if you're the attacking side, because I don't think we saw one push for B.
Yeah, I mean, I think as much as I never really like enjoyed standoff, like I didn't dislike standoff, but I never was like, this is my favorite map. Looking at it from a competitive standpoint, standoff is probably one of the most balanced search and destroy maps. It doesn't really have a huge favor to offense or defense. So, it's I like it. I'd love to see more search and destroy standoff.
I completely agree with you. Standoff search and destroy much more OP than standoff, or not standoff, but takeoff. And you know what? I was just not a fan of search and destroy on Hackney Yard. As much as I like the map, and I'll say I love it for hardpoint. I love the rotations. I love the hill
growing, yeah.
locations. I love pretty much everything about that as far as hardpoint goes. Domination, I'm not convinced. I saw a much more even matchup in domination on Hackney Yard this past best of 3. With 150 being the score goal, I could definitely see players actually push for that C site or push for that A site aggressively. It's not going to be one where they forfeit A or C to go to A. It's definitely one of those matches that you don't have that time to allow to play catch up. So got to get the points where you can get them. Turbulence forfeits against Angels. Yeah, they actually decided not to play today. So Turbulence, Tribe, and if I'm not mistaken, Cygnus Black all forfeit no shows today.
Yeah, interesting turn of events here, but hey, sometimes that's just what's going to happen.
Absolutely. See these guys double book or get another tournament that they got going on. Obviously, we've been doing this for 32 weeks strong. We're not going anywhere. Clayster, welcome in, my guy. You put on a stellar performance in that best of 5 over Dallas Empire today. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch CDL. I know Day and I were talking about the the production quality of CDL. So I know he is a CDL follower to an extent. So did you actually catch that NYSL and Dallas Empire matchup?
No, I didn't catch anything today.
Oh,
Nothing.
that's tough.
I was literally loading a shed onto a trailer, like for 5 hours today.
Good God, how big was this shed?
It was quite large, but a lot of it ran into the fact that they just didn't get the right trailer. It wasn't. One, it didn't have a winch on it, right? Like that was the biggest problem. So there was like 10 of us hurled around the shed trying to move it onto a trailer that was not big enough. But that's what they wanted to do. Got it on there, and it's not my problem no more. So hopefully it made it to its destination, but
Hey, you did your job.
yeah.
All right, we're going to get geared up for the semifinals. I do see the bracket actually get updated. We're going to see Cygnus Esports, obviously, that we just saw 2-0 over Op34. They're going to be playing Trovo Mayhem, who has been undefeated tonight. They take down X Timeless and Gravity 2-0-2-0. On the flip side of the bracket, Explicit on the backs of 2 forfeits are in a best-of-5 semifinals matchup against 11D. So 11D and Explicit going to fight it out for a final spot. We've got probably the sweatier matchup, which is going to be Cygnus Esports and Trovo Mayhem. You guys, you got to buckle up. This is going to be a hell of a best-of-5, and I'm expecting this to at least go to Game 4.
Can we grab like a 5-minute break real quick?
Hey guys, we're going to be right back. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and give our sponsors a little bit of light. So after our word from our sponsors, we'll be joining you guys here shortly. Alrighty, we are back live for some Meseeks Sunday Showdown. This is the semifinals. We've got Zygnus in the lobby. We've got Trovo Mayhem in the lobby. And guys, if you're just now joining us from the raid, I appreciate that. To Tio and Envoy, looking forward to this best of 5 matchup as I've got the rundown on the maps. We've got Hardpoint Firing Range, followed up by S&D Summit. Ooh, I opened my mouth too soon. I said how much I dislike Hackney Yard Search and Destroy. Obviously, I bit off a little bit more than I could chew, and now we're going to have a Search and Destroy on Summit. So, Raid Domination, and if we go to a Game 4, it's going to be a standoff hardpoint. If we see a Game 5, it'll be a Hackney Yard S&D. So, again, Firing Range hardpoint, Summit S&D, Raid Domination, standoff hardpoint, and a Hackney Yard Search or Destroy to finish up that best of 5 series. Trovo Mayhem opting to ban the Sparrow. Zygnus opting to ban the Annihilator. We've got both teams in the lobby. We're just going to be waiting for Day to join us back as soon as he does.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. We've got everyone in the lobby. Should be good to go. I just went over the best of 5. And we had Envoy and Tio come through with a massive raid. So going to be a sweaty one. This is probably one of the better sides of the bracket. I can't discount Explicit. Explicit's one of those teams that are in our qualifier series, but on the backs of 2 forfeits, their first matchup of the night is going to be against 11 in a semifinals format. Definitely going to be interesting. All right, we've got everyone ready on the Trovo Mayhem side. All right, we're ready to go. Let me let them know on Discord we are ready to rock and roll for game number 1, Hardpoint Firing Range. This is a newer addition to the competitive scene. Obviously, it's going to be thrown in the mix for the Masters rule set. So it was recently added due to the unique spawn situation that we continue to talk about on a weekly basis. This is one of those maps that have shown a little promise when it comes to that aspect. And without further ado, game number 1 is going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah, Firing Range isn't too bad for the Search and Destroy respawns. It's definitely not anywhere near as rough to watch as something like Summit or Raid or what's the other one? Crash is also pretty.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Crash definitely a difficult one for for hard point, and firing range is all right. I have no complaints on firing range. It's not often we get like weird full send respawn on a hard point that you just lost. I mean, it does happen, but not quite the way it does on some of these other maps. So definitely something to consider. And we are off to a pretty slow start. I mean, as firing range does typically end up being on the P1 rotation, you get a lot of spawns that are very quick to have sight lines or grenade lines onto that central hardpoint. As well as I've mentioned it before, everything there is pretty much wall bangable, so it's not a really safe one to try to defend once you get on it. So it is a bit of a lead for the side of Trovo Mayhem, which I'm I guess a little shocked they got so much time on the first objective up against Zygnus, but obviously there's still a lot of time left in this hardpoint and could go either way. So we'll see as things develop how we get there. We do have Cheto rocking the Bison. So again, another one of those really strong weapons so far this meta. And I'm not shocked. It does kind of fit his respawn playstyle. He's a pretty solid run and gun player, so yeah, can't complain when your sniper is also good at SMGs.
Oh, definitely. We saw that with Zai too. Zai was just manhandling kids with the Bison. I actually saw Tectonic, who was on a early 7-0 spree before he got taken down. He earned a Predator missile, he's got a sentry gun too as well. So he's off to a great start in this first matchup of hardpoint on firing range. We got a pretty even matchup as P2 started off decently for Trovo Mayhem, but with an early break, Zygnus was able to retake. We're going to see this trailer side open up in about 5 seconds, and Zygnus going to be coming through the front door. They're going to have something to bite off with that sentry gun. Actually, oh my god, if it couldn't have been positioned any better, I can't say. Very well played by Tectonic as P2, or P3 rather, is going to be openly dominated by the guys over at Trovo Mayhem. We are going to see some contesting coming through the front door and back door alike. Oh, Tectonic just OP with everything he gets his hands on today. A double. Was that a collateral with the? I think that was a collateral with the Tempest. He's just a man of high caliber, just obviously playing at a very high skill level right now. And I mean, what could you expect? He was the regional MVP last year. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I just haven't seen him perform this great in a long time. Tatio gonna be on the jump up there of the Windows side. He's gonna be spotted by Tectonic. Tatio's gonna get the better of that trade. But at the moment, Tectonic just popping off.
Yeah, Tech doing a great job. I mean, he's obviously been a staple part of this Trovo Mayhem roster since his addition, since it was formed, I guess. But obviously a well-known player in the North American competitive scene. So definitely what you expect out of him. And so far doing a great job at it. I didn't expect Trovo Mayhem to be ahead in the hardpoint. I expected them to fare a little bit better in the search and destroy. But so far, they are putting up one heck of a fight. They've got about a 60-some point lead, and not quite enough time on this hard point to close it out. It's very, very close, but they would fall a couple seconds shy. And that's assuming there's no contest either.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be like
absolutely.
two seconds shy, so it's looking good for Trovo Mayhem. I mean,
oh, it's looking very good. 25 and 7 for Tectonic, and we got Awaken, who's also double positive. This is probably the best I've seen them play. You know, I can't say since I've seen them play, but this is just right now a very great start in this best of 5. Zygnus, obviously, one of those teams you can never discount. You know, even at a 80-point deficit. I could still count them in, and they can make these rotations and make this a closer game. At the moment, when you got guys like Awaken and Tech popping off, it's very difficult to do anything. 28-9, Tectonic continues on his rampage as we do see P1 about 20 seconds in. The guys over at Zygnus able to, get a few points off of it. Shadow going to go ahead and get on point. We're going to see the trophies come through for Raven. And the comeback is real. We're going to see this start up here as P1 is about halfway through. They're going to need to hold a majority of this, get some points off of it, and then make some great rotations over to the second hill. And we'll have ourselves a ball game. Now, you can't leave this hill too early because you don't want to give your team, your opponents, any more points closer to that finish line. But we are going to see the early rotations from Cheto and. With Nero already in the point, they've got, that is absolutely a Goliath. It's going to be taken down. Awaken him with the Goliath is going to be spotted and taken down, and now Little B is going to be there to replace. P2 looking like it might be where the guys over at Zygnus take their first L in this best of 5.
Yeah, looks to be the case currently, and a Goliath with no persistence is not necessarily an easy feat, especially up against a team like Zygnus Esports. So really, really huge games played between Trovo Mayhem and Zygnus. Not really the way I expected it to go either, so I'm definitely glad that was a great open for this semifinals matchup. And yeah, I've got absolutely no complaints here. That was one of the better games I've seen Trovo Mayhem play in quite some time.
It's a draw. Stand
and a really big performance out of Awaken.
Oh, definitely. He rose to the occasion. He definitely woke up and and put on. He only had 18 seconds on the hill, but when you go 24 and 10, just an absolute beast. Tectonic again. I'm not talking him down, but in recent games that I've spectated him, he's not been the same Tectonic that I watched in seasons past.
To be fair, I was very critical on Tectonic when I first started coming into Mobile Mayhem. And, he was a little bit down in the dumps early on, but it was when he previously played for Tribe. They were making the switch to phone, and the team overall was not necessarily performing the way that they had been hyped up for me. Since then, Tectonic has, proven to be a very, very stable player. And while he obviously did great here at 33 and 12, I think part of what maybe hindered his performance in some of the previous weeks of other tournaments, including this one, is the rest of the team around him has done better, which has made it harder for him to come out and shine and be this god tier carry, which he was this game. But again, overall, Trovo Mayhem have just done better week to week. So with the new pickup of Awaken, if he's going to put up numbers like 24 and 10 consistently, again, up against one of the harder teams to play against, this is looking to be a really strong Trovo Mayhem roster that can complement Tectonic's skill very, very well.
What team was he on previously? Because that wasn't Zygnus, was it?
No, I can pull it up. Hold on one second.
I know his name. I've seen him before. God, dude, I know some of the teammates that he had previously was Bear, who is now a part of the Zygnus roster.
I think it was Zygnus Black, but I'm just
Zygnus Black. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, we're gonna see game number 2 here, Search and Destroy on Summit. And I was just telling chat earlier, I might have bit off a little bit more than I could chew. Might have spoke too soon. I said I hated Hackney Yard Search and Destroy. And here we are. It
was Zygnus Black, and then he moved to Zygnus.
So Tio getting a big 2-piece off the rip. That's going to leave 2 players alive. Tectonic getting another frag as or his first frag. That's going to be 2 frags. Nero.
Beam Draven there. Yeah, Nero peeked that corner and just wasn't ADS or anything, just his crosshairs were in the right place, turned the corner, there was a player, and he just melted him. Again, QXR, incredibly strong and versatile weapon this update. Working well for him.
Yeah, working well for Cheto as well. Cheto going to be in top control area. It gets a beam on Tectonic. That's going to leave Nero in a 1v1 scenario. We're going to see some crab walking for both players. Cheto going to be up top, trying to get some better positioning. Nero with the bomb in hand, going to be pushing up top control as well. Shadow gonna be forcing down, so maybe a few seconds prior, we would have saw that engagement. Shadow's actually gonna be spotted there. That might, his location might be given away by his laser, but Shadow's actually gonna be rotating towards the A site as he's expecting an A plant. Oh boy, he's gonna be spotted on the backside. Shadow gonna get the better, as the top snow staircase is actually gonna be that OP corner that players just never seem to peek. It's one of those ones you were expecting him to go down there, but you weren't expecting him to get in that corner. So round number 1, favor of Zygnus. That's like one of those spots. If you're camping the A site, that's where you're at, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And good bounce back from Zygnus there. It was a pretty commanding lead of Trovo Mayhem in the hard point. And Zygnus turned things around in a big way, as well as Tio picking up a first blood here in round 2. A couple bullets getting traded back and forth with Cheto and Nero. Neither one of them going to drop, but we do have a trade. Tonic picks up Irving, and I believe Leon killed by Irving as well, but I could be wrong. Kind of weird as I was looking at it. No, it was not Irving, because Irving has 0 kills.
So Tio is on the brink of an... Oh, no. Was it Cheto that picked up a kill earlier? He was on the brink of picking up 4 kills this round, but he's spotted by Tectonic, who's now in a 1v2 scenario. Cheto, or Tio rather, definitely making great use of that MP7 QXR. Raven's going to be spotted on the gondola area. He is going to have some help and some support from Cheto, who was at the end of Catwalk. That's going to be a 2-0 in favor of Zygnus, as they are off to a better start in the Search and Destroy. Not saying that they didn't have a great start in the hard point, but it was kind of hard to stay in there as Tectonic and Awaken with the heavy carries. 33, 33, and 12 for Tectonic, and 24 and 10 for Awaken. A fabulous pair, as the nade thrown gets a hit marker on Irving, but is not going to actually
Raven,
take him down.
Spot.
Tectonic going to take down 1. Raven going to pick up 2. That's going to put us in a 3v1 scenario now, as Leon's going to be left on his own.
Yeah, Raven had a really, really good spot there at the edge of barrels. Not quite pushing up the bomb, but giving him a good sight line of the little underside of the catwalk there. Allowed him to pick up a pretty decisive double kill early on. That's going to be a 3-0 lead now for the side of Zygnus, which is, I mean, primarily to Tio and Cheto right now. 7-3, 4-0 for Cheto, and Raven, I mean, not doing bad, a little bit behind there at 3-2, but, you know, if the team wins, so he's doing his job. And, oh man, Cheto in a really rough spot. Gonna trade a couple bullets with Nero there. Awaken is gonna be here to back him up. Cheto is gonna pick up the kill onto Awaken. Nero now in a pretty rough spot. Did get the bomb plant, but he has 2 members of Zygnus in front of him. Oh no.
Little B got spotted, like, literally wide open, no cover, peeking at the top side of the computers building. We're actually going to see Cheto pick up another, Leon pick up 1. That's going to secure the first round for the Trovo Mayhem team. And Zygnus looking pretty stout in this matchup, but I don't want to highlight the misfortunes a little bit there, but bro, he was literally on the bottom side of that tower, like wide open, scoping, aiming down sights, and just got beaten by Cheto. Cheto 7-1 at the moment, playing this Search and Destroy very well. Him and Tio both. Tio 7 kills as well. 4 kills, or 4 deaths actually for Tio. As Cheto, the only round that they lost was the only time he's died. He's going to get pushed by Waken as soon as I say that. That's Caster Curse at its finest, right?
The enemy has the bomb.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a Caster Curse there. I've missed seeing Cheto play, so I'm definitely glad that he came back and is having such a strong performance right now. 8-2 for Cheto. That is absolutely nothing to scoff at, and 4 going on 5 full rounds of Search and Destroy so far. It has been the defender heavy win at the 3-1 for the side of Zygnus, and currently it is a 2-2. Make it a 2-1 as Tectonic picks up the kill onto Irving there, and is going to get the kill onto Raven as well. Not quite tying things up, but making it much more possible as they pick up that last attacker round win there. Obviously, we have discussed in the past that this is a very defense-favoring map for Search and Destroy. So now that Trovo Mayhem are on the defense, we'll have to see if Zygnus are able to pull things together and potentially even up the series. As obviously we had Trovo Mayhem win in that first match of Hardpoint.
We're gonna see. I've got to go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and point it out here. This is demon mode for Tectonic. Tectonic is 10-4 at the moment. As we were just talking about how well Cheto and Tatio were playing, my guy Tectonic in another league right now picks up his 11th. Talking about a hard carry in the hard point, now a hard carry in the search. My guy is popping off. I made a comment a few weeks back that I'll continue to stick by. Tectonic is an absolutely phenomenal player. All right, he is without a shadow of a doubt one of the better players in the NA comp scene. I said one thing
absolutely.
that one thing that just you give this guy a fork, he'll find a way to get 4 kills. He's just a master of his craft, and I made a comment earlier about haven't been able to see him play this well recently. This is without a hands down the best performance I've seen from Tectonic, most consistent. And I don't know, you made a comment about his teammates playing very well. At the moment, I'm seeing Little B struggling a little bit, and Awaken obviously not finding his footing in the Search and Destroy matchup. But again, this is a Summit Search and Destroy, so I can attribute that being a factor. But I don't know, dude. This is a different Tectonic that I haven't seen in weeks past. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a little bit of a struggle to see Little B down where he's at, because all season of Mobile Mayhem long, he was putting up double-digit kills in Search and Destroy left and right. So definitely different seeing him struggle down at 4 and 5. Leon is having a pretty solid game, however, at 9 and 4, so really helping Tectonic with the carry there. Oh, Nero rounds a corner, wrong place, wrong time, drops right into Irving's lap. And it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, Nero for Tatio. That's a pretty good trade, in my opinion, if you're Trovo Mayhem.
Absolutely. Obviously, you want to make sure you get Cheto down. Cheto has been like that key driving force. If you look at it, you've got 4 victories or 4 rounds in your win thus far, and you see Cheto's got 4 deaths. Is there any kind of correlation? I have to say there is. With as long as Cheto is still alive, he's going to be like that key factor in winning this Search and Destroy for Zygnus. We're going to see Irving actually get taken down. Little B going to go ahead and get that frag. It's a 2v2 scenario. We're going to see Leon rotate back. And as long as Cheto has his top control area, there's no way they're going to get this defused. Leon going to be spotted, beamed. Little B going to be spotted. Oh my! Little B picks up the MP7. Gets to the fuse. It is, as I said, as long as Cheto is down, Trovo Mayhem are going to have the advantage. If he would have stayed alive there, that would have obviously held true to Zygnus. But it is match point now for Trovo Mayhem, who has played this Search and Destroy very, very aggressively and has came out on the top side of this thing so far.
Yeah, definitely a solid performance out of both of these teams. Right now it is in favor of Trovo Mayhem, who also won the hard point. But Tatio going to pick up a free first blood there onto Nero, who very aggressively rotated through mid. Looked like he was trying to come out maybe under C Dom side again, and maybe get a couple kills from behind, but was unable to make that rotation safely. Leon is going to pick up the kill onto Tatio, however. That's kill number 12 for him. So he's right up there, actually 1 kill ahead of Tectonic and 2 kills ahead of Cheto currently. So big couple rounds for Leon there. And Zygnus definitely in a little bit of a pinch here. They do have the player advantage, but they look very, very nervous to push up currently.
As they should be. Little B's actually going to be holding this B site very well. He's got a line of sight on Cheto, who is top control. I don't think Cheto saw him. This, I don't know what you call this, like a B connector maybe? I'm not sure. Envoy going to take down Leon. Leon going to be, Cheto going to spot Little B. It's a 4v2 scenario. There's only 40 seconds on the clock, which is plenty of time. Well, actually, we're going to cut that to 45, leaving Little B and Tectonic alone in a 2v4. Little B, again, spotted, going to be forced to back towards his spawn site. playing it very conservatively, and that B plant is actually going to... Oh, wow, Little B popping off at the moment. Takes down Irvin, takes down Cheto! And now it is a 2v2. Tectonic is actually going to accompany him in the top side of this B site. Raven going to go ahead and take some shots on the Little B. Envoy going to be there to clean it up on Tectonic. And now match point yet again for Trovo Mayhem. Will they be able to clutch it up here? Or will Zygnus be able to come back as they have found themselves in a two-round deficit? Took last round. We'll see what they do here in this next.
Well, so far it has been kind of the year of the comeback, so hoping Zygnus are able to get a win here and extend our series, but man, Trovo Mayhem playing just so solid right now. Again, Awaken definitely struggling in the search and destroy, sitting down at 2-9 is the first blood in this round, but you know, Little B has stepped it up. He's 8-6 now. Nero not having the greatest game of his life, 5-7, but man, Leon and Tectonic with 12 and 11 kills in a great spot. Nero, just as I was mentioning, not having the best game of his life, peeks the corner and picks up a kill onto Raven there. That's going to help even things out, even if only for briefly, as Tectonic does get dropped there as well. Oh man, just turns the corner into 3 members of Zygnus. That's a rough one, and this is looking like Zygnus going to push us into a round 11 search and destroy.
You know what? We might see that, and the way I got to commend Zygnus right now. They're playing this search and destroy. I know they're in a deficit, but they play in this past 2 rounds almost flawlessly, with the time extended to 2 minutes for the map to develop or for the game to develop. They're playing super conservatively. They've opted to have 2 snipers, Cheto and Tatio. Tatio picking up some big frags, Cheto picking up some big frags. Bomb is down at the A site, and Leon and Little B are going to have to find some time together. Looks like they're kind of split up at the moment, which you could make for a great pinch, but Little B is actually going to make his push up onto the gondola site. Gets one in Irving. Going to give away his location, which Cheto sees him. Oh, Cheto! Envoy going to be the last one alive, and with 10 seconds left, the bomb is going to be defused by Leon, who is going to go ahead and get it. What a play! Little B peeks his head, gets taken down, but Leon secures the bag there. Almost well played by Envoy, but Leon comes through with some well-disciplined timing. Gets that defused, and bro, that you gotta have brass balls to secure that one. It's like all you take is just one peek from Envoy to slide that corner, and he would have been exposed. Leon just went through it. He knew what he had to do. He had Little B there to kind of play like the decoy role. And what a play from Trovo Mayhem. 6-4 victory in game number 2.
Yeah, and with the time on the clock, it was the play he had to make, and it worked out really well for them. Picking up the 6-4 search and destroy win. So that's going to be a 2-round lead now for the side of Trovo Mayhem in this best of 5. So in my opinion, again, Trovo Mayhem showing up in a way we didn't necessarily expect them to. But great performance. I mean, Leon 13 kills, Tectonic with 11, Little B with 10. Again, Awaken did struggle in the search and destroy, but I don't know if you can complain after the hardpoint performance that he had. He was playing absolutely nuts. Zygnus obviously did great here as well. Glad to see the return of Cheto dropping 11 kills to Tio with 10. Raven with 8, so not a huge kill disparity, but definitely a couple kills made a pretty big difference. And unfortunately for Zygnus, that last round was looking all them, and it just massively fell apart incredibly fast.
I got to attribute that to where the bomb was planted at. The bomb was planted on the opposite side, kind of favoring the window of that top computer area. We actually see teams actually in the lobby. We're going to be back in just a second as maybe a situation with connectivity, or maybe just a player wasn't ready. So it was a quick start for game number 3. But definitely, if that bomb had been planted on the opposite side, where it was kind of an exposed area for Envoy to kind of peek and take down both players at the same time. Obviously, Little B was right there if Leon had been defusing the bomb on the bottom side. or the exposed side, it would have been Cygnus taking that round. But Leon had perfect placement. The bomb was planted in their favor, and they took advantage of it. So
I want to say that the idea was that because the bomb was planted on that side, I think the idea was almost to like play mind games and have Trovo Mayhem expect he was going to be defending from that side, so that he could try to pick up the quick kill and play time, and it just unfortunately didn't work out for them. So
I could agree to that to an extent, but with two players actually on that
the safer
side,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The safer play was to play the side and just try to deny the defeat. But no, that is a one way or another a round win for Trovo Mayhem. So they'll push us into our domination and be at match point.
absolutely, we're gonna have to see Cygnus come through. Could the reverse sweep happen here? I don't know. The way that Trovo Mayhem are playing right now, they look like they're playing for a championship. They look almost flawless. Like, they look pretty perfect, spot on. They look like the comms are on point. Their movements are on point. They were never out of position in the hard point. They were never really out of position in the search and destroy. And when they were, they paid for it dearly. Cheto and Tatio both played that search and destroy very well. Obviously, Trovo Mayhem came out on top, and it really could have gone either way there in that round 10. But again, Trovo Mayhem looking pretty solid at the moment, and we'll see if they can continue that gameplay here in game number 3. Domination on Raid, going to be a good one. This is a wide open map. It's huge. The rotations are going to come through. If you're not getting beat successfully, you're going to hope for a spawn flip or maybe a flag flip. Relieve a little bit of pressure on that B side. Raven going to go ahead and take down Tectonic. Going to go ahead and ease their mind. Raven picks up 2 there, and he's going to be exposed as he pushes the staircase of the laundry site and gets flashed. So trades have been made. We're going to see the guys over at Cygnus make their comeback here in game number 3.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We definitely have some Cygnus fans in chat saying a comeback is coming. So we'll have to see. It has been, so far, the year of the reverse sweep. And we've got about a half B progress by the side of Trovo Mayhem. Cygnus are able to stop that pressure and potentially push us a little bit later into the game where a B cap is possible. Right now, about a 1.5 point lead for the side of Trovo Mayhem. They had a couple players sitting on A that allowed them to get the cap about a second sooner. And unfortunately for the side of Cygnus, the aggressive B side push really didn't work out well for them, other than to delay what looks to have been the inevitable, as the AB comes through for the side of Trovo Mayhem, as well as they had about half C progress. So we might be looking possibly like a flip could be coming, or attempted. Kills coming through for each of these teams. We do now have Little B and Nero rotating up behind Envoy. They get the kill there, and Irving is going to slide the corner and get the refrag, but Little B is ready, picks up Irving, picks up Tatio. Tectonic gets the kill onto Envoy, and this is looking absolutely great for the side of Trovo Mayhem right now. We have the A and B cap, and not really any progress coming through from Cygnus on to B. Keep in mind, everybody, we are playing to 150, so it'll be 75-point halves. So if you're joining us a little bit late since the last competitive season of Mobile Mayhem, the rule set has pretty drastically changed to accommodate more of the Masters rule set. So pretty important changes to both Hardpoint and to Search and Destroy, as well as to overall class loadouts as well. We have more score streaks enabled, we have operators available, we have less gun bans overall. We also don't have a limit on snipers for Search and Destroy, so just a couple of the big ones changed there. There's no bans on shotguns, no bans on LMGs, and it looks like Trovo Mayhem going to go into the second half with, I mean, my word, almost a 30-point lead. I think if they were to hold B, but See, the first signs of life from Zygnus coming through there is they almost had a B cap, but it very, very quickly gets taken back. Nero doing a great job, just honestly spamming out the hunter killers and picking up some. I mean, he's picked up a kill with it every time, so definitely a solid score streak for him to have. And like I said, a 30-point lead now for the side of Trovo Mayhem, who are looking like they're going to pick up the 3-0 win.
And as we say that, we did see Gilmania come through with the raid. It appears as though 11D has found their ways into the finals. We are going to see 11D and the winner of this best of 5 go through a best of 7 matchup. So interesting as we do see the guys over at Trovo Mayhem in a very profitable position. Little B opting to one live snipe in this domination is very interesting. As I say one live snipe, he's actually going to be holding on to the sniper in after his first death. He used the combination of the two. I want to say he sniped a few lives in the first half. It looks like he's going to snipe a few in the second half and then swap over to that QXR. It's definitely served him well as he has found himself in a very, very nice position. 15-8, and just, you know what, everything you said about, you know, the team popping off for Trovo Mayhem and Tectonic's abilities just kind of going hand in hand. Little B swapping over to that QXR now, as we do see Zygnus making their way onto the B site. Not going to be able to get secured there. Or they're going to hold the secure as A and B are actually going to be held. You know, what you said was spot on. The guys over at Trovo Mayhem, Leon, Nero, and Little B popping off right now. And it's kind of hard to you know, make your presence known when you got guys who are almost double positive in every aspect. You know, with Tectonic now finding himself in an 11-9 position, definitely not going to speak to his abilities, but definitely shows that, you know, when you got teammates who are as OP as Leon, Nero, and Little B, when they're able to show up and pop off, it definitely leaves you a little space to move, right?
It definitely does, and Awaken not having as big of a game as he did. He's sitting at 3-12 currently, so
that's an understatement. That 3-12 is quadruple negative.
Yeah, not great, but I mean, again, he did have a very decisive impact in the hardpoint, and this is some of the tougher competition to go up against. So we look at the rest of the roster, and Nero, Little B, Leon, and Tectonic have played the better part of the past 2 months together, 2 months plus together. So being a new player on the roster, you definitely expect there are going to be some hiccups with the synergy. Obviously, the gun skill is there. He was able to, again, 24-10 is nothing to scoff at in a hard point up against Zygnus, so definitely something to consider there. He does have the PP19 Bison out, so maybe it's time to switch over to the QXR, or maybe get a little bit more practice with it, whatever the case may be, because it's obviously a very, very strong gun in the meta. I don't remember what he used in the first game. It could have been the QXR. So excuse me if I am misspeaking there. Oh my goodness, Cheto with the death machine is just going to mow Awaken down there. And what has developed to be a very, very close game is only 15 points between Trovo Mayhem and the side of Zygnus Esports currently.
Yeah, Zygnus needs to get a B cap ASAP or see something. They need to get some kind of traction. Nero going to be in top control of Laundry, just going to continue this spray. And Envoy actually going to catch him out. Little B going to be there for the refrag. Shadow trying to find some action, but I think this is going to bring us to a conclusion. 3 games up, 3 games down so far. It looks like Trovo Mayhem have secured their spot in the finals, as we do see game number 3 going in their favor. That is going to do it. Trovo Mayhem will move on to take on 11D in this week's Meseeks Sunday Showdown finale. This is going to be a very, very great matchup. Zygnus obviously, man, I don't know what happened there, dude. It's like Trovo Mayhem brought their A game every moment of every game that we saw, and they played damn near perfect.
Yeah, they played great here tonight. The 3-0 victory over Zygnus, definitely unexpected in my opinion. I mean, I definitely expected Trovo Mayhem to play well, but I would have thought Zygnus in this matchup, honestly. I don't think it would have been a 3-0 Zygnus if you had asked me before the broadcast. But I very well could have seen a 3-1 or a 3-2 in Zygnus' favor. Trovo Mayhem came out with an absolute fire today. Several of the players popping off like crazy. Obviously, as you mentioned, Tectonic, a huge carry in both the hardpoint and the search and destroy, with the likes of Leon and Little B in the search and destroy, turned things around pretty big. Awaken really heavily helped out in the hardpoint as well. Was able to turn the domination around a little bit. Obviously, we mentioned that he was sitting quad negative for a minute there and finished only about 0.50 or just rather under, so like a point. Oh, what, like 0.45, somewhere right around there. So turned things around the second half. Nero had a really strong second half as well for Trovo Mayhem here in the domination. And Tectonic stepped things up quite a bit too. I know we were mentioning that he was at, I think 11-9 at one point and ended the game 21-12. So definitely a big second half for him as well.
Oh, absolutely. Tectonic definitely proving that verdict was wrong here, as he just somehow finds a way to come through and find himself in a second place position. Obviously, 21-12. Man, dude, I don't know. Maybe this is just Trovo Mayhem's day to shine. But I definitely, I didn't expect Zygnus to win this one, and I didn't expect Trovo Mayhem to take a 3-0. I think Trovo Mayhem taking it 3-0 was obviously the one that we least expected. But wow, this is an overwhelming performance from them, and they're making their path to this finals pretty flawless. 3-0 in the semifinals, 2-0 in the second round, 2-0 in the first round. Man, it is 10:18 at night, bro, and we're already starting up the finals.
Yeah, we've been on a pretty decent pace. Again, we were obviously short a matchup, so it is something to make note of. But they definitely left us for some really great matches here tonight. Obviously, we got to see 11T playoff earlier, and they had a pretty strong performance. Not necessarily as strong of a performance as Trovo Mayhem just had, though. So while I would have considered these teams very even at the end of the last Mobile Mayhem season, I don't know. I don't know. If Trovo Mayhem are going to play against 11T the way they just played against Zygnus, it should absolutely be a blowout. Zygnus have been the more consistent team over 11T at every step of the way. So for Trovo Mayhem to come through with such a strong performance, I mean, it definitely speaks volumes to how much work they've put in since the end of our previous season. And, you could always say, well, Zygnus haven't really played with Cheto much lately, but Cheto was not the issue, especially in the Search and Destroy. Man, absolutely popped off like a madman in Search and Destroy. Honestly, kept Zygnus in the game a lot longer than they would have otherwise. So that is a huge thing to consider as we move forward. And, I still don't think Trovo Mayhem should win this like 4-0 by any means in this. This is the best of 7 for the finals, right?
That's correct. Best of 7 for the finals.
Best of 7. So I don't think Trovo Mayhem 4-0 here, because again, 11T obviously played really strong as well earlier, specifically in the respawn. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that matchup ahead of us. We're just waiting on the players to join, so maybe a 2-minute break to get something to drink, Verdict?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a short intermission. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, guys. we are back live for a Meseeks Sunday Showdown Grand Finals. Yes, that's right. We've got 11D and we've got Trovo Mayhem here about to fight it out in a best of 7. As well as Gilmania, who just joined the VC. He is going to be co-casting with us tonight for the finals. We still got Denominate in the building, so he is still going to be in the loop as we'll co-cast during games, and outside we'll have his expert analyst abilities as, I've continuously commented on the abilities that he brings to the table. So, and we're going to continue to see that. So game number 1 is going to be starting up here shortly. We're getting the maps set up as I do see a bit of an issue. Obviously, the S&D map summit has just been outplayed tonight. I can't afford to see it again. So we're trying to get another map in the mix. So bear with us as we're getting this best of 7 started up. Gil, man, how you been tonight?
I've been good. I've been great. I mean, a lot of really good games that we've seen so far in my side of the bracket as well. We did have that semifinal of Explicit going up against 11T, and that semifinal also ended up being a 3-0 in favor of 11T verdict.
Yeah, how did that match up?
Ended up being a 3-0.
Was it close by any means? Explicit's one of our qualifier teams, and I didn't have high hopes in that matchup, but I definitely expected them to contend and at least put up a fight.
Well, I mean, they did try to put up a fight, but I feel like 11T was just on a streak. They were doing just so great. There was even on Search and Destroy specifically a couple of rounds where 11T would be on a 1v2 scenario against them, and even in that kind of situations, 11T was able to close us up. Most of the time, it was just them being in the lead, setting up the pace of the game, going to wherever they wanted, and making Explicit actually having to be the team reacting to whatever 11T was doing. So, yeah, I would say that 11T put up a fight, yes, but 11T seems to be playing quite nicely today.
But I have to say, I don't think they've had the level of competition that Trovo Mayhem has had. And when I say that, we actually just witnessed a 3-0 best of 5 against the likes of Zygnus from Trovo Mayhem. So, I mean, Denominate was just commenting on the level of play we've gotten to see from them. And I have to say, I got to agree with him, man. They are like bringing another level of competition into the mix. Am I right, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right there. This has been kind of the best Trovo Mayhem we've seen for quite a while. And again, some of that could be just due to the fact that they were a newer roster put together this season. They didn't play the whole season with Leon, and when Leon came in, they overall seemed to play better. And it's been just an uphill climb for them since then. I mean, they've done better and better consistently. And obviously, they've put the work in from the end of the previous season up until these past couple weeks of the Meseeks Sunday Showdown. Obviously, they did lose to Tribe last week, but they put up a heck of a fight the whole time. I mean, Tribe again are arguably the best team once again. But Trovo Mayhem, if they keep improving the way that they have been, that could change. There could be a little bit more competition for NA.
I got to agree with you. Week 32, Trovo Mayhem taking on Week 31 Tribe, who obviously won the whole show in convincing fashion. I would have loved to see this matchup. Obviously, we won't be able to see it. We didn't see it because Tribe forfeited and was not participating this week. However, I would have found it to be super interested to watch that matchup. I wouldn't have wanted to see it in a best of 3 format, which if the bracket is right, we would have actually seen. No, never mind. We wouldn't have seen that up until the final, so we would have actually been able to see all 7 games potentially had Tribe played it out if they made it past 11E, if they made it past Community and Zygnus Black, if they had not forfeited. But all the whats and what ifs and whatnots and could have been. Definitely not the situation here. Trovo Mayhem on a flawless run so far. I know 11D is on a flawless run too, but who could say they beat Cygnus Esports in a best of 5 in 3 and live to tell that tale? It's this team right here. So I'm not discrediting 11D at the moment. What I'm saying is the guys over at Trovo Mayhem just on another level at the moment. So we'll get started up. I've got the map rotations and everything. This best of 7. It's gonna be Crossfire Hardpoint where we're gonna start it off on. Standoff S&D, Takeoff Dom, Hackney Yard Hardpoint. If we see a Game 5, firing range domination. Raid Hardpoint for a Game 6 potential, and to wrap it up, it's actually going to be another Standoff S&D. So I know there's a lack of variety in the maps there, but I just couldn't bear to see another Summit S&D. It's just it's not the best. It's not the best move, but nonetheless, game number 1 about to start up. Trovo Mayhem and 11D. If you want to go ahead and relay to the Spanish-speaking audience, go ahead, Gil.
Sure, vale, pues aquí vamos a tener el inicio de las finales de esta semana del Meseeks Sunday Showdown, donde para aquellos que todavía están medio perdidos y no se enteren, va a ser al mejor de 7, ¿vale? Las finales a partir de ahora vamos a verlas a finales 7 con las nuevas reglas que tenemos, y pues bueno, vamos a tener una primera partida de punto caliente aquí en Crossfire, y pues la verdad la manera en que están jugando ambos equipos, tanto Mayhem como el Event, está siendo bastante alta, bastante buena, muy sólida por parte de ambos. Entonces va a ser bastante interesante el ver cómo se desenvuelven ahora en estas finales, que como les menciono van a ser un poco más amplias, van a ser ahora 7 posibles enfrentamientos los que se pueden tener por parte de estos dos. Entonces pues a ver qué es lo que nos pueden mostrar aquí con el inicio de partida. Va a ser bastante peleado, básicamente el 50-50 para cada equipo, pero bastante emocionado también por ver qué es lo que pueden poner sobre la mesa ambos equipos, perdón.
So another thing that we got on board as well, we've got consent from both teams to join VCs. We won't do that too late because obviously we're not going to 250 here. Danny Goku going to be a player in OBJ. They're going to see a massive gain off of P1. 40 seconds of the 43 are in his favor. So 42 actually a millisecond under that 42 ticker, but 43-12 as P2 opens up. Definitely a massive advantage at the moment for the guys over at 11D, as Zai is going to be in the OBJ here. Danny Goku was taken out mid-transition, so as soon as we can get an opportunity to jump to the VCs, we'll go ahead and do so. I won't do it too early, as I said, but definitely won't be able to wait too late.
Yeah, games can be a whole lot faster nowadays, and we'll have to see what the exact perfect moment could be for those entrances. So far, it seems to be in favor of 11T, but of course, Mayhem is not trying to fall too much behind, as they are fighting their way inside of the hill. They are going to be able to do it thanks to the help of SXC, but ultimately he does end up dying by Wero. Wero gets inside, and 11T, a good start. We're already midway through the game, and the advantage is for them. Let's see how long it can be, because so far, Trovo Mayhem has been able to either be early or just struggle a bit more to actually contest those kills.
Yeah, we're going to see an early rotation from Trovo Mayhem, and what was starting to look like a flawless run for the champs here in the Meseeks Sunday Showdown. It's starting to look like a bumpy path now, as game number 1's about midway through, and we already have a 50-point advantage in favor of 11D. Nero going to be playing his life as Tectonic comes through and clears the hill. That's going to be perfect opportunity for us to go ahead and do our listen-in for the comms for the guys over at Trovo Mayhem. So bear with us as we join theirs and give them a chance to sound off.
I got him. Ladder side dead.
I found ladder side. I'm going to
I got you. Oh, ladder side, okay.
They're coming all gone.
Oh, you got him. One point. One shot. Nice. Yeah, get him point. Just go next. We need to rotate.
No, they rotated middle. One down here, one middle.
I got the time. Hey, let me know when you're there. I have a friend.
Middle.
One more middle. Touch one more. There's one more X.
I'm back.
Alright,
I'm
I'm
back.
gonna
Need.
I'm gonna try to
One
get
spawn back. I got the guy back.
Operators.
Operators.
I got annihilator.
I got my annihilator too. Hold
I'm
up.
pushing my annihilator. I'm
I'm pushing right.
I'm going up X. Never mind. He's sniping.
Back.
One deep.
Hey, three on side, bro. Three on side.
Yeah.
Got one deep.
I saw him
Oh,
both
he got me.
side.
Like
Yeah,
one
yeah.
really deep.
All right, definitely some interesting comms. We heard the call-outs for transitions to P4. Zai obviously going to get a massive 3-piece, 4-piece actually taking down Awaken. And yeah, I couldn't hear anything other than Leon. Leon just that loud bunch. He was making his voice known, and it's obvious that the guys over at Trovo get that breakthrough. But the comms are super important as they were consistently making call-outs. Indicating that last minute break, they actually going to get a few points off of P4. The P5 transitions for 11 are going to come through smoothly. This is actually going to be a chance for us to get a listen in on there. So bear with us as we join in to 11's VCs for their listen in.
Friendly predator missile inbound.
Bueno. ¡Mátalo, mamón!
Muerto. Izquierda. Arriba.
Café.
Izquierda.
Lo voy a poner ahí para que no pase.
Buena, Dani. Buena.
Bueno.
No está, no, pues. Con ese ya no pasan, güey. Uno. No, güey. Muerto.
Otro más.
Va, con ese ganó. Muerto.
Ey, uno pon. Bueno.
No sé dónde vergas es eso.
Uno por atrás.
Puta madre de la América. Arriba las Chivas. No.
Ya ganamos.
Quédate.
Bueno.
Buenísima, pa. Buena, güey.
Buenísima, hijos de la verga.
¿Qué pedo contigo en
All right, you got to hear the tail end of that victory. Wasn't very much going on in the VC as, you know, they pretty much called out everything they needed to and just moved on. But a commending first game for the guys over at 11D, and I saw Zai sniper or sniping the S&D, and my game's a little bit laggy. Hold on just a second. I definitely think he did a better job in the respawn sniping. Dude went 22 and 13.
Yeah, he did an amazing job over there on that game. He was killing it with the sniper. I think that was him that I saw with Annihilator as well, and was having some really good shots as well. Overall, the team was really well organized, and we did see that exactly on the VC as well, I believe. And I feel like although Mayhem was, of course, making the callouts, we were able to notice that that sort of, not necessarily them being desperate, but actually being worried about a potential loss that ended up happening. And I feel like I said, 11T, a ton of boys that notice a lot more confidence.
Absolutely. Game number 1 under the books, and 11D off to a great start so far. Day, what did you notice in that first game?
I mean, honestly, 11T showed up with a pretty huge fire, and that's what we saw out of them earlier in the hardpoint as well, and they struggled a little bit in the search and destroy, which is a little bit backwards from what I would have thought would have been the case. So it's definitely an interesting shift to see. They're obviously a strong team overall, and you know, again, I think it definitely shows that they've put the work into advancing their respawn plays overall. You know, kind of one of the key factors for them in search and destroy was always Wiru was an incredibly strong carry in search for them. And unfortunately, we haven't seen them really perform in the search the way we have in the past. And you know, again, they've stepped it up in the respawns, which respawn being 2/3 of the competitive series is not a bad way to place your focus. And you can definitely see it in their rotations specifically, that they work better together as a team in respawns. And, you know, Wiro had always struggled getting kills on the board for things like hardpoint and for domination. And that has so far really not been the case. I mean, it was an overall pretty low kill game between these two teams for a hardpoint. But, I mean, I can't complain at the performance that we had come out of 11T there.
I got to give it to him too. I don't think we even saw the reset of Hills either, which is interesting. We went 5 points and that was it. So an early shot from 11E. They take the lead in P1, 42 seconds from my guy Danny Goku. And it was murder she wrote from there. So it seemed like Trovo Mayhem just had a hard time of getting their feet on the ground, and that's in that hard point. But you know, with the score going to 150, you can't afford any kind of losses in there early on. Game number 2 going to start up 11E with a 1-0 advantage. We're going to see the search and destroy on standoff come through, as we are going to see Trovo Mayhem actually with the bomb in hand. SXC's going to go down early, and something interesting that I'm not really questioning, but the substitution of Little B out and SXC in, I'm not questioning that, but you know, it seemed like Trovo Mayhem was doing very well with Little B in the building, and now we're not going to see that at the moment. So maybe they're holding him back for strategic purposes. This is a best of 7, so you have a little bit more leeway. A flawless first round for the guys over at 11E, and we're going to see how Trovo Mayhem transitions here. So, yeah, round number 2, definitely looking like 11E's actually going to have the advantage already.
Yeah, and I just saw Sai get a kill for himself and then get 2 hit markers on 2 different people. That's so unfortunate. He could have gotten a triple piece, but got 2 hit markers. Tectonic is the one that he's not getting hit markers. He's getting the kills. He already picked up 2. It's currently going to be a 3v2 as the bomb starts to gets planted actually over at B area with only Danny and Wero alive. Danny carrying this MP7 that is so frequently used. Wero gets the first kill, gets taken down by SXC, but Danny gets a kill as well. Goes for the double.
Oh.
1-2. Wow, Danny just nasty. Gets the 4 kills already for himself. Gets the defusal. That's a 2-0 lead for 11T.
Yeah, that's a learning lesson right there. That was an area where you didn't have any kind of advantage. Danny Goku just played that head glitch so well on the B bomb site. And in that moment, I would have probably opted to push towards the broken area. But it was just a series that the gunfight was there. He was in the heat of the moment, and obviously it just ain't going his way. No kind of cover for my guy, though. Danny Goku made him pay for that, and we are going to see second straight round go in favor of the guys over at 11E now. Trovo Mayhem, who we were just continuously talking so highly about, off to a pretty rough start in the search and destroy so far. 2-0 in the favor of 11E. They obviously took an L in the first game too, so Trovo Mayhem going to be bouncing back here. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it. Nero, bomb in hand. Tectonic going to be spotted as Zai made his way up aggressively onto the tank statue side. Wero going to be there for some support as Awaken is spotted and taken out in the boxes portion of the map. Leon going to be taken down too, and it's going to be a 5-3 scenario where Nero picks up the bomb. Leon and Awaken go down early. SXC going to be taking some shots as the backside of gas station is actually going to be pushed. This is some aggressive search or destroy play as 45 seconds left on the clock. Zai going to be out mid. Nero going to go ahead and take down a Wero there. I think they're going to get a drop on Zai. Zai is going to get taken down. Great coordination from SXC and Tectonic to even things out, but Tectonic is actually going to be spotted and taken down from Yuhi, who has the shotty in hand. So definitely a slower a third round from both teams. Nero actually going to be left in a 1v2 scenario. Bomb in hand. Yuhi's going to spot him. Might be it for him as he's going to be sectioned and cornered off. He's going to take down 1. Okay. But with 8 seconds left to go, there's nowhere for him to play. He's going to have to play the set glitch, and I don't think he has time.
Let's see, Just is going to run after him. He's trying to make the defusal. I don't think he realized that Nero was there. Wow, Nero continues to be alive.
Well
He's gonna...
played.
Wow, that's so unfortunate. Really well done by Nero right there.
Oh, that was
really,
a
really well
hell
done.
of a play by Nero. Gets the plant down. I didn't even think he was going to have time for the plant. Let alone, as soon as he got the plant off, I was expecting Just to just annihilate him, but that was not the case. Very well played by Nero. This might be the transition moment for the guys over at Trovo.
Yeah, Just didn't really have any sort of visual cues for him to know that the enemy was there, and that's gonna be a quick round, almost for the side of 11, who got 4 kills, leaving only Tectoni alive. He was able to get the first kill, but still under a 1v4 scenario. The way that 11 has been playing is being really well coordinated. The fact that, wow, that's another kill for Tectonic, but the set of Trovo Mayhem is trying to be a lot more aggressive, and 11 seems to be really well prepared for that. Tectonic is gonna be dying in that Granny's area by side with the sniper. There's gonna be a 3-1 lead, and 11 continues to get another round, and I almost feel like it was well played by Nero, and a bit of unfortunate luck for Just as well.
Absolutely. We do see another round go back in favor of 11, and a 3-1 scenario now as Trovo Mayhem was filling themselves a little bit too much. They pushed up towards A and just got completely taken off their block. Yuhi peeked around that corner with a shotty and just picked up 2 big kills. 2 more were also followed through. Tectonic gonna be spotted. Oh my, Awaken on the kill for Wero there, and that's going to leave Danny, Izai, and Just in a 3v5 scenario. Bomb is planted, 33 seconds left on the clock. Round number 5 looking a lot better for Trovo Mayhem, but with this 11 roster just playing so very well, you can never discount their abilities, and that's actually going to leave Zai as Saxy and Tectonic pick up 2 big kills. Nero going to come through with the Nero slide. They should ban that before every match, dude. This guy is just an absolute animal when he gets on it. But you can't ban the Nero slide. That just means you'd have to ban him, and that's not happening. So Nero comes through and clutches up another round, last kill there, as we see the sides flip 3-2 in favor of 11 at the moment. But Trovo may have very much so in this matchup still. So we'll see how it pans out as we see this first or 6th round start up.
Sí, esta sexta ronda ya con los equipos cambiando de lado. Hemos visto que las 3 rondas que ganó el Event fueron de manera bastante contundente, mientras que las 2 que perdieron, que se llevó el equipo de Trovo Mayhem, han estado bastante más peleadas de una u otra forma, pero por sobre todo la verdad es que el Event está teniendo un dominio claro, pero les va a tocar también poder cerrar estas rondas. Por ejemplo, ahorita que se encuentran un 2 contra 2 va a estar bastante cerrado. Just en posesión de la bomba. Just está ahí en la zona de azul, va a dirigirse a la bomba de B, está intentando ser discreto a la hora de ir a plantar la bomba, pues solamente le queda 1 minuto restante. Los jugadores de Trovo Mayhem se fueron a defender la zona de A, entonces quizá es que logre plantar la bomba, pero Tectonic con el Franco le está plantando también presión. Overall, I feel like this round is going to be really contested by both, but Nero is going to get that key kill onto Danny. Danny gets taken out, leaving Just in a 1v2 with only 43 seconds to react in this scenario. He does have control over the bomb, but let's see what he can do against Tectonic Sniper and Nero's QXR.
That was just a very misfortunate of timing, like very unfortunate timing for Danny. Danny was just inside that blue house area. Goes the backside of Deli, and as soon as he turned around to face the back alley area rather than the blue house, Nero came through, and just perfect timing for him. So we are going to see a 3-all as the Search and Destroy is starting to favor Trovo Mayhem a little more now. We'll see if they'll be able to keep that same momentum. As soon as I say that, Zai picks up two massive kills, and Wero is going to go ahead and secure the plant over at A. We're going to see Just get that bomb down. He's going to plant for boxes. This is pretty much going to secure the round. Nero and Tectonic in a almost impossible situation. Bomb planted, 40 seconds on the clock. Good God, man, I got to shut my mouth. I got to stop saying favorable or the advantage. As soon as I say that, it just, like, makes me eat my words. Nero in a 1v5. We saw him clutch up a 1v1 very easily. Well, not easily, but very almost perfectly. Not going to be able to do anything there in the 1v5 scenario. So 4-3 in favor of 11. And as I said, the guys over at Trovo Mayhem had the advantage. Now it is looking like 11 is just going to continue and run the tables here. As 2 minutes on the clock is an exponential amount of time for them to form a strategy and execute. Now, they're not going to get the early frags that they got early on last round. Zai going to be positioning himself inside of Courtyard here. Going to spot Tectonic, and No trades have been made yet, so 5v5 ensuing. Bomb is in the hands of Just. We'll see how this round unfolds.
Yeah, and I feel like Sai has been doing a really great job at giving the team any sort of advantage early on, or clutching the rounds at the end. He's currently with 7 kills for himself, I believe. Sai just being the sniper that he can be. Like you mentioned on last game, he was killing it on respawns. Now getting taken out by Tectonic, but Tectonic still gonna be in the middle of a 1v3 that cannot be clutched up, as Wero was ready for that. He probably got the confirmation by the teammates that he was over there, went for the kill, got it, and that's gonna be 1 round away from 11T to getting the second game in their favor.
Yeah, it's looking pretty doable here for 11D as they took first game. Pretty decent matchup in the hard point. It was all 11D though. They take 2 kills in their advantage early on in the search and destroy, but Just is actually going to be taken down. That's going to leave the bomb out. Wedo picks it up. 2v4 scenario. Wedo gets the trophy down, and it is looking a lot like 11D might take the back here to the second game. Nero and Awaken are going to have to play together. Actually, Awaken is going to be disconnected. What happened there? Did he disconnect or leave the game? I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure either, but Nero is still going to be left alone in a 1v2 as he gets a few shots by Wero. Wero ends up clutching the round. That's going to be a 6-3 and 11T on this best of 7. Has been able to get the second victory of the finals. And secures it in a pretty dominant way, I might as well say it. You know, the way that they were playing overall, it was pretty solid from what I saw. There was like maybe 1 or 2 that it could have been a bit more debatable, but overall, I did feel like 11T was the one setting up the pace, and it came down to, I feel like Trovo Mayhem's aggressiveness. You know, they were trying to be so aggressive that 11T just continued to do the same round after round, and we did have one slower round. I feel like it was the second one, the third one, and that's when we saw a better chance of Trovo Mayhem to making something happen on that one specifically. But overall, 11T, thanks to Trovo Mayhem's aggressiveness, takes game 2.
Yep, Nero 12-6. Hard carry, just not going to make a difference here in the search and destroy matchup. 7-7 for Tectonic. The guys over at 11D just too OP. As Dave made several comments about their abilities in search and destroy. I gotta say that is definitely the 11D I know. Wedo 9-4. One of those OP S&D players. Definitely showing off his abilities here in game number 2. And speaking of Dave, man, Dave, what did you think of that search and destroy matchup? Obviously, that's something that 11D is known for, and you know their game pretty much spoke for themselves here in this second matchup.
Yeah, I mean that was a lot more of the 11T that I guess I would say we're used to seeing, at least as far as search and destroy goes. But you know, this is not really the same 11T that showed up earlier. They didn't. I mean, they were doing good, but they weren't doing this good. So definitely glad that they have made a pretty exciting finals here for us tonight. Trovo Mayhem obviously opened up their last game with, I mean, honestly, just some crazy gameplay, and you know, I expected this to be way more in favor of Trovo Mayhem, and so far that has not been the case whatsoever. Obviously, we had either a leave or a disconnect from the side of Trovo Mayhem, so I'm sure they're going to have to figure that out, as well as we're going to have to determine if there's any sort of incurred penalties that'll have to happen if a player had just openly left the game. So I don't even remember who it was at this point that left.
It was Awaken.
Awaken, okay. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I would expect Awaken to leave a game, but you know, it's hard to say. You never know, especially in the COD competitive scene. It gets very, very competitive very, very quickly, and there's definitely a lot of possibility for the salt to flow sometimes.
I'd have to agree. I'm not 100% sure what the disconnect was. With us not being a phone-only tournament, I would assume there shouldn't be any penalty, but as we say that, obviously we don't want anybody just up and leaving the lobby for the sake of leaving the lobby. Game number 3, 11 with a early advantage, 2-0, as they took the both the Search and Destroy and the hardpoint in convincing fashion. And I gotta agree with Dave. Dave made a comment about the abilities of 11 coming into this matchup. They are obviously operating at a higher capacity. I don't know if it has anything to do with you know, their willingness to win, or it's just maybe they play in better on these maps at the moment. Now, what I will say is Trovo Mayhem subbing out Little B. I'm not saying that's hindering them, but I'm just not seeing the same energy that we saw in the first the semifinals earlier. So we'll see if this is a trend for them here going into this third matchup, or if it is going to, you know, be nothing to speak of as game number 2 starting up, or game number 3 starting up. 11D going to go ahead and get C and B without any kind of contesting there. Nero going to be in the top side of this office building, and you know, the advantage early on for the guys over at 11D are just going to prevail at the moment. So C and B held. Oh my God, staircase peak from Danny Goku led to 3 players being at the top. All I could think of was that TikTok with the Oh No song playing as he peeked that corner.
Yeah, and it was pretty unfortunate play, but overall, like you said, I feel like it's more in the both factors, right? 11C, like I previously mentioned, was just on fire coming in from the semifinals, and right now, like you mentioned, without Little B, it does make a bit of a difference. I feel we're currently trying to defend C is not gonna work out. He does end up dying to Narrow, and the rest of the teammates try to get inside as well. Saxy ends up dying. Overall, the strategy from Mayhem feels like it's trying to rotate towards C, and that's something that we were talking about in the semifinals as well with Golden Boy. You know, he was talking about the fact that if you can get a hold over on A and C, you can actually try to, from those specific places, pretty much dominate your opponent, right? Sometimes it can be really, really useful to get that A and C hold, so you can potentially just, in a way, spawn drop them over at B.
Yep, on this map, I'm sure they're not having any luck on B. They're just going to try for that flip. That's a strategy that we'll continuously see, especially from a team that's coached by Zim. Zim's one of those guys that, you know, he's not going to tell you to do something if it doesn't make sense. The C flip, the C side retake, gonna relieve some pressure on B, gonna offer some support for your team to get some traction on B, and now we're gonna see the B cap. Oh, my game might have crashed here. I think it did. We're gonna give it a second.
All right, we should be coming back soon, but just as a way that's saying that the round, sorry, is still pretty much in favor of 11, right? They are about to be with the 75 points they need. That is going to be placing them with a 31 points advantage moving on to round number 2. And as we get over there, it feels like 11T is like in a really, really good spot. Also, another thing worth mentioning is that if you do spawn on C, there's that certain top side that gives you a really good view over at the B area. So I feel like it's going to be really, really important for the side of Trovo Mayhem to try to capitalize on that, as they completely dominate the C and B capture at the same time. You know, the side of 11T is going to try to go for a C flip, but Leon was ready for that with Annihilator, picking up the 1-2 kill, 1-2 piece. He does gotta come back over there. He's gonna do it kind of late, misses one shot, gets another kill. I do see that reconnect by Verdict. So yeah, Leon tried to make the defense. It didn't work out at the end, but Mayhem was able to capture A back.
So I gotta say, the C site obviously must hold a little bit of weight, so it's easier to get to the B site. I'm looking at the spawns. Obviously, 11 knew that. They took advantage of it. So C cap is in favor of 11. I'm assuming they got a spawn flip or side flip. Is that right? The flag's flipped.
That is right, yes.
So, I mean, obviously the C site is favoring B, so we do see the B cap come through. It is definitely a factor. So these guys must have been, you know, strategizing or playing this map at some point to understand that. So Game number 3 starting to look like the first 2 matchups in this series so far. If we continue to see 11 dominate like this, we might not even see past a game 4.
Yeah, the way that they flipped that A and C was just spectacular. Moving immediately for that B retake as well. That ended up working out perfectly for them. They are currently under a 30 points lead for the side of 11T, who continue to have that CB hold. And Nero is gonna now take out the Annihilator, but it gets taken out by Sai. Jesus Christ, Sai with that triple piece. That is huge. He does end up dying to Tectonic. But the work that Sai has brought into the table is actually quite amazing. Today he's been just having a blast for himself, you know? Currently being 21 kills, 22. So 21 kills for Sai is just amazing, you know? He's bringing a lot of really, really good plays into the table. And at the same time, he's also playing objectives every now and then, you know? He's being both that aggressive top fragger player, but also helping with the OBJs at the same time.
Yeah, I was, surprising to see him play this well because earlier in a Search and Destroy match, dude literally went 0-5 sniping, and now we see him at some points respawn sniping and doing a hell of a lot better. So it looks like he just turned the on switch, or turned the switch on, as game number 3 looking very, very likely that 11 might be able to take this series or sooner than expected. So Trovo Mayhem going to be on the brink of an elimination come next game. I'm not going to call it here too early, but it's pretty convincing that they have the advantage, as a triple cap must come through, and with the time allotted, they might be able to come back. But how long would they be able to hold that triple cap for? This is a huge map. You couldn't expect your team to hold all of it for long. I mean, we're going to see the C push come through. Tectonic is going to be on the side immediately, but Wedo is going to be there to secure. That's going to be the game set point match. 150 to 118. 11D playing a lot better in this best of 7 finals matchup. Trovo Mayhem looking pretty disappointing at the moment.
Sí, el Eventi de manera brutal, de manera contundente, se va a llevar ya la tercera partida, pero esto no se ha acabado. Recordemos que es al mejor de 7, requieren de una victoria más para alzarse con la victoria absoluta, pero sin duda alguna están dominando de manera bastante sólida a sus rivales. Sai particularmente ha tenido unas finales espectaculares. Aquí se llevó 27 bajas, terminó muriendo únicamente 13 veces. Pero la manera en que estaban rotando de manera coordinada entre A y C era bastante buena para eventualmente también ir por la captura de B. Lo estuvieron haciendo muy, muy bien y les va a faltar una victoria más para, como dije antes, alzarse victoriosos de las finales de este Meseeks Sunday Showdown. And Birdie, once again, I want to mention that again. You said that Sai was struggling earlier on today. He's having a blast right now.
Is popping off. 27 and 13, 3 caps. Obviously, this is a map that you won't need a lot of cap points due to the fact that it's such a huge map. You won't have a lot of trades. It's not raid. It's not summit. You won't see like 10, 15 caps per player. Wedo 5, 6 for Danny Goku. I gotta point out, everybody negative on the side of Trovo Mayhem except for Leon. Leon 1911. Just something to keep in mind as we see Game 4 about to start up. But 11 looking very, very great at the moment. All right.
Yeah, going in their favor, and the next game is gonna be a hard point yet again, right?
It's looking like that, but I only see 2 players in the lobby for Trovo Mayhem at the moment, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on. It's a best of 7, so maybe they got a bit of a mix-up. They are not in the VCs either, so I don't know if we'll see this game 4 go through. I don't know. We'll see. Dave, what were your thoughts? Domination, takeoff. Obviously, the guys over at 11D played super well all 3 matches thus far.
Hang on 1 second. Let me check with them real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. We're gonna see everybody leaving the lobby yet, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on. We saw this last week as Zygnus was that team in the finals with Tribe. Tribe took it in 3. The 4th game was forfeited. We went for a short break, and when we came back, it looked like, it looks like Trovo Mayhem aren't going to be playing game number 4. So interesting. All right, that is actually going to bring our stream to a conclusion then.
Pretty odd way to end this yet again, but it seems like that's gonna be the case, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're done at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night. I have never heard of the. It's 10 o'clock where I'm at, so I'm gonna have plenty of time to do whatever I need to do. But yeah, interesting. So I don't think people like finals being best of 7. It looks like so. 2 weeks in a row where I mean the games are going by fast, so it's not like the best of 7s are drawn out, but obviously it's not in their favor. So yeah, that's actually going to bring our stream to a conclusion. Gil, Day, I want to go ahead and stop and thank you guys first because you came in through the support for CoCast, and I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Gil,
Yeah,
man.
thanks so much, Verdict. Always a pleasure to be here along with you too.
Oh yeah, everyone loves casting with Verdict, right? Nah, I could be a little long-winded. I could be a bit drawn out, but I appreciate you guys for accommodating. Got to give a huge shout-out to Trovo, JuJu Energy, SXC Finger Sleeves, and HyperX. If you visit the JuJu Energy website, make sure you use code Meseeks as well as SXC Finger Sleeves. SXC.gg, use code Meseeks for that fat 10% discount. Get ready for a raid because it's coming. We'll see you guys back live tomorrow for the Meseeks Mobile Mayhem qualifiers event, and Tuesday night for the Meseeks Madness Royale, guys. Until then, we'll see you then.